Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new show here on Chromatic Chimera. It's Mass Effect, baby. We're doing a Mass Effect game. I have some incredible players with us right now, and we're going to be playing Mass Effect using a sort of hack of the Genesys system, which I'm very excited about. Excited to see all these narrative dice come into play and see where we go. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. The year is 2186. Commander Shepard's suicide mission through the Omega-4 relay was a success, and although the Collectors have been stopped, the Reapers are still coming. But the threat of the Reapers and the untold carnage that they will later inflict upon the galaxy is not known to nearly every person living in the Milky Way. For so many, life continues as it always has. They say that, although covering a huge portion of the galaxy, only approximately 1% of Citadel Council space has been explored. Though the mass relays allow for near instantaneous travel, it is in the areas in between that are far harder to reach, and as such, these areas hold many secrets. One of those secrets is the small planet of Varkon, discovered long ago by a council-led survey team, where a Shadow Broker agent lifted a curious piece of information from their reconnaissance report before it reached their destination. As a result, the Ivanweir Mining Corporation learned of Varkon and was able to begin an illegal mining operation on the mineral-rich planet. However, as it is an operation that seeks to be hidden from council jurisdiction, the Ivanweir Mining Corporation has relied upon criminal contacts to get the job done, to run it smoothly, and to, most importantly, keep everything covert. So, we find ourselves on a large, lumbering cargo ship. This is the Genesys, and it is a ship that was designed for long-haul flights carrying heavy cargo approximately 60 years ago. This is an old ship. It has seen more than its fair share of wear and tear. Most of the interior has been heavily modified to accommodate the needs of the Ivanweir Mining Corporation. Conditions are cramped, and priority has been given to creating more cargo space at the expense of crew living quarters. To give you a visual, it's very much like Alien, the ship from Alien, rather than the nice sleekness that we're used to in the Mass Effect universe. And the reason that it is like this, it is so cramped, and the people on the ship are struggling so hard to live among each other in these cramped conditions, is because it is necessary, because the Genesys' destination is the mining base on Varkon for a much-needed resupply of resources, machinery, and personnel. So, on board this cargo ship, I would like to ask you, Erda. You are currently dealing with the fact that you have been on this very cramped, not ideal situation on this ship for what feels like days. It is a slow haul trying to get to your destination. There are no mass relays where you are going, so you are currently traveling at FTL speeds to reach the planet of Varkon. My question to you is that you actually receive some kind of message, some kind of communique that you need to answer. But before doing it, it's probably best if you find somewhere private to respond to this call. So my question to you is, where does a Krogan go on a cramped, bulky spaceship like this for some privacy? What kind of things do you look for?
Well, I gotta say that at least just my first instinct as a player is find the bathroom. But I don't know that there's one big enough. Let's see. I suppose being a Krogan could probably just leverage my big, bulky, frame and chase a few people out of a room.
I love that. Yeah.
But that's not a good way to make friends.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you notice that on board, there's all sorts of people kind of on this ship. All walks of life trying to find employ for this shady group. And for the most part, people are smart enough to know not to mess with a Krogan.
I think Erda goes and looks around and tries to see if there's anyone who looks friendly's not the right word, and I don't necessarily want timid, but somebody who, if you went, hey, I'm taking a call, you mind stepping out, they might actually step out.
Somebody who would be receptive to a bit of diplomacy, potentially.
Yeah.
Love it. Why don't you go ahead and do our first roll of the game and roll for me a charm check. Oh, sorry, negotiation check to see if you can get somebody to give you the space that you need. We're going to call that difficulty not particularly high because, as we've established, you are a big Krogan and you're looking for somebody who appears to be easily influenced.
Well, we gonna do it.
All right, so this is interesting. You did not roll any success, but you did roll advantage. So you come across this sort of downtrodden-looking Drell, who is sort of in a little. It's not really a closet, but this very small kind of like maintenance space where you could basically fit in if you just like shoved your entire body in there and just closed the door in front of you. Like, it would be some privacy even if it wasn't ideal. This Drell is currently just sitting in this maintenance space, kind of like on their knees, just on the floor, just kind of like waiting out this journey as everybody is on here. And when you approach, you kindly suggest that maybe they could vacate the area for you to get some privacy for a short while. They do not seem particularly receptive to what you're trying to say, however. But you can see there is sudden fear that strikes them in the eyes as they kind of look at you and just go, well, this is my spot. I claimed this spot. It's not much, but it's mine.
And you can have it back when the call's done. I don't need it permanent. It's a little bit cramped.
50 credits.
50 credits for... Tell you what. You're going to this mining place, right?
Yeah.
Not credits. I'll owe you a favor. You can cash in for me to go rough somebody up. You can just have me stand around and look tough so you have your own space. I don't care. I just need this space for a few minutes.
I could use a favor from a Krogan. I don't have any friends down there. Yeah, all right, you got yourself a deal. And they promptly stand right up, kind of shimmy their way out of this small maintenance closet area, and then you see them walking down the hall, leaving you free to have the privacy you need.
And a favor that can't possibly go wrong later.
Excellent. So you clamber into this little maintenance closet area. There's a bunch of wires and cables all over the place that you have to constantly like knock out of your face. But you were able to press a panel on the wall, and with a heavy ka-thunk, the mechanical door slams closed, and it becomes very quiet. All you can really hear is just the humming of machinery around you. And you kind of press onto your Omni Tools haptic pad and call up the sort of call request that you're getting, and you quickly see a hologram of a Turian who appears to be sitting in a cockpit, and they have this big grin on their face, these sort of like white triangles of paint marking the sort of origin of their clan, and they look at you with a bit of a smirk and they say, "Hey Erda, did you make it?"
And still en route. And
you recognize this as Cassis. You flick another cable out of your eye. You recognize this as Cassis, a Turian specter, somebody you are quite familiar with. And he says, well, the good news is that they have exactly one sort of line of convoys leading to this place, and it's really easy to hack into. So we got plenty of time to chat. I just wanted to go over the kind of things you'll be looking for down there. I know that it was a bit of a rush getting you onto this ship. What do you have credentials? Are you a stowaway? What's the situation? How do you end up getting on here?
I told them I was muscle. They didn't ask for anything further.
I truly wish there were more Krogan spies, because you really proved that it can be done quite gracefully. Excellent. Well, the fact is, there is something down there on the planet of Varkon that is, shall we say, highly suspicious. Of course, this is a whole illegal operation, but it's not enough for us to send like a council task force to come and take it out. A lot of resources, a lot of spreading thing and everything. What we need is eyes on the ground to see what is happening. I've had some contacts who have told me there is something very shady going on in the mines themselves, and I need you to figure out what it is. Ideally, without getting yourself shot or imprisoned, or otherwise making this a difficult situation, because if things go bad, I can't help you out. You'll be on your own down there.
Well, what's new?
Yeah, you know how it is. Well, what's new is that this is the first mission you've been sent on solo. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do, and I have faith in you. I know you can do this.
Of course I can do this.
Yeah.
Been telling you this for fucking months.
I know. Just consider this more of a sort of field test, I suppose. But yeah, you'll be fine. Just keep a cool head on your shoulders, yeah?
Yep. You know me. Big Krogan grin starts splitting our faces.
Yeah, and then Cassis kind of sort of looks at you for a second, smiles, and he says, if you need to contact me, I don't exactly know what kind of communication resources they have down there. I imagine it will be quite limited. You'll need to find some kind of tower or other place where they send out communication. It might be quite heavily guarded, so just be aware of that. If you can't get anything to me, don't worry too much about it. Just get yourself out of there and give me the intel when you're able to. Got it?
Got it.
All right, best of luck down there.
Good luck to yourself.
Yeah, I think...
We'll meet up. Probably in a few weeks.
Drinks on Purgatory?
Purgatory it is.
All right. And he, the call ends right there and then. Hold on, I'm just realizing. Is Purgatory the prison ship? I think that's the prison ship. Whatever, there's another bar called Purgatory. It's a big galaxy.
I thought that was also the, what's
I
that?
think,
What's her new place?
I don't remember. There's just Mass Effect fans screaming at me right now. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we move away from this cramped maintenance closet on this clunker of a ship, and we move over to find an elegant Asari walking down the hallways, kind of awkwardly shuffling by people every now and then. And this, of course, is your character, Vivi. Would you like to sort of describe what your character is doing in this situation?
Well, I am guessing that Telora would just like kind of try and avoid touching all these people. There's way too many people here for her to feel comfortable. She's been trying to kind of find a spot to just sit down quietly and do some studying and look up some stuff, but it's like there's just people everywhere.
And while you're here as well, there is not necessarily anybody here who you see as necessarily a major person in charge. It seems all those people are either sort of in the cockpit or in a different sort of crew area of the ship, probably keeping sort of the nicer spaces to themselves, while the rest of the chumps kind of have to deal with the living conditions back here. My question to you is there anybody here who you try to sort of like chat to get any information about where you're going? Do you try and get any sort of reconnaissance while you're here? What kind of stuff are you doing during the long hours of this journey?
Well, she's definitely reading up on all kinds of studies, and she's really interested in like archaeology and the protons. And so she's going to be reading up on all of that stuff, and she's kind of sometimes looking around to see if there's maybe a more scholarly person around that doesn't just look like muscle, someone to have a conversation with. So, or maybe that she can like bond with a little bit to see that she has, like maybe an acquaintance when she gets there, so she doesn't feel like so exposed and she's coming without any friends and without any help.
Yes, sounds great. Why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you can find anybody sort of meeting that description, somebody a little less meatheady potentially. Let's see what we get. That is a straight up neutral roll we just got there. So neither success. So you don't really. It's difficult because a lot of the people here are already very haggard by just the process of getting on this ship and existing in it for as long as they have in these unfavorable conditions, that everybody kind of looks a little bit mean when you get close, like, hey, could you potentially be a friend? You kind of hear just some grunts and some aggressive sounds. Even as an Asari, you're not necessarily being offered much clemency right now. So it's difficult. You sort of narrow it down to there's this
my character is studying, but very much looks like muscle. So
right.
It depends on if you like the studying more than the.
Yeah.
Up to you.
So you definitely see there is a Volus who you see who's just like, okay, a nice sort of friendly Volus, they can get along. But they have a knife in their hand that they're just kind of like flicking between their wrists back and forth. And anytime anybody gets close, they kind of like just stop playing with the knife for a second and just kind of hold it out. So it's like, maybe, but you don't really know. There's also this human there as well. Fitting the description of Paladin's character, who looks very rough, very grizzled, very weathered, but they are sort of going through various training manuals and like different research texts as well. So it's like, okay. And they're not, how to murder a person manuals as well, so that's something. And finally, you do see that there's also the most scholarly person you see is a Vorcha, of all people, who is dressed rather finely, and who doesn't seem to have any, like, visible weapons on them as well, and they're just sort of, like, keeping to themselves in the corner, and you think they seem quite calm and quite pleasant. I don't know if you've really met a lot of Vorcha in your lifetime, but you certainly know their reputation. This one
wears a bowler hat.
This one does not seem to wear a bowler hat, but does seem to have some fine clothes on. But yeah, it's up to you. Of those three people, they seem like the least.
Well, yeah, the fine clothes will probably pull her in, and that he's so calm in the corner, and she kind of looks at the human. She's like, later, and she's gonna go try and very charmingly say hello to the finely dressed fellow.
Yeah, the Vorcha kind of like sort of turns to you a little bit, quite perplexed looking as well. It just goes, eh.
Hi, my name is Telora. Looks like we're going to the same space.
We all go to the same place. This ship has one destination.
I know. I was trying to find a nice way to open this conversation without sounding too silly. I think I kind of missed. Hello, my name is Telora. Nice to meet you.
Telora, I am Zephyr.
Zephyr?
Zephyr.
Very nice to meet you. So what are you going to do on this mining spot?
I'm a xenometeorologist.
Oh, that is way cool. I'm an archaeologist.
I did not think they would have much need for an archaeologist on this team. Did they find something there?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to find out.
Typical. They tell us so little, but the credits are good.
Yes. And it's always interesting just going for, seeing what will happen. It's very, very interesting.
What is it you hope to find there, Telora?
New knowledge. I love knowledge. Knowledge is the best. I don't know what specific knowledge we're going to find, as long as it's something new.
Well, I don't think there are many here who will share that same ideology, but it is nice to see.
Yes, I have the same feeling that there's not a lot of people here that are into it for the knowledge.
I have noticed high levels of security. It makes me curious about whether they're expecting something on this ship or on the planet's surface. Few have been willing to give me many answers.
Yeah, they all seem kind of tight-lipped. Nobody really wants to share anything. But yeah, I've been wondering about all the security too. So much muscle on this ship. What do we need all the muscle for? What? We'll have to find out.
Such is the nature of working with unscrupulous bedfellows, shall we say.
Yeah, comes with the territory.
And-
But I'm definitely glad to find someone that is interested in knowledge too.
Yes!
While this conversation is happening, the human who you kind of passed over earlier, who was looking at some of those tech manuals, Paladin, what is your character up to on this ship? What kind of things have you been doing to sort of pass the time? How have you been sort of keeping your cool in these oppressive circumstances?
Well, I got myself a job as a mechanic, and my skills are a bit rusty, so I'm brushing up. Got myself a manual about how the digging machines work. Some of the ore refining stuff. Trying to see if I can brush up a bit.
Love it. And during this time here, have you, would you say you've been kind of keeping to yourself a lot? Have you sort of been asking questions of people? Have you sort of been finding your own territory and sort of like keeping it to yourself? How have you sort of been composing yourself on this ship?
I'll have definitely staked out some area for myself. If I sit somewhere, it's mine. And I have been keeping an eye out to see if there's anyone from my old stomping grounds. I think we're good so far.
As far as you can tell, you have not seen anybody you immediately recognize amongst these people. While you are kind of diving into your texts and sort of reviewing the various bits of knowledge that you will need for employment at this place, a Turian walks up to you with sort of these big, like, zigzagging scars across his face and a sort of twitch in his eye. And when he gets close to you, he sort of disrupts. Are you sort of like reading on a datapad right now? Do you just have like an Omni tool display up?
I've got several data pads on the table. I look very confused because this isn't my area.
Yeah, this Turian kind of like comes up to you quite aggressively close, grabs one of your data pads and sort of like looks at them and goes, "What's this meant to be?" and sort of like chucks one at your face.
It's a data pad, you ignorant buffoon.
What?
Never seen one?
Trying to do some
Grow up on a
last-minute
rock?
cramming before you get down to the surface of the planet human?
What, you don't prepare for things?
I'm always prepared for things.
Well, Scar says you don't prepare well enough. Now, I know I ain't one to talk, and I point to my own horrible scar that decorates the half of my face. It's seen a lot of plastic surgery to make it look like a face again.
Yeah, this guy, he's very much kind of getting up in your face right now, and he says to you,
Scars are a symbol of surviving. What have you survived?
Everything. So far.
Bold claim.
and he picks up another data pad and just throws it right at your face again, and says,
Can you survive this?
and throws another one at you.
That's your best attack. You're gonna be dead within days.
Oh, you don't want
But
to
how
see...
about you leave my data pads alone, huh? Get yourself another toy to play with. And I'll put like a gun on the table.
Yeah, he kind of like sees you do that and sort of like gets this horrible smile on his face when you do, and you can see that he sort of like opens up a little bit of the sort of short coat that he's wearing and sort of shows off his own gun that he has strapped to his chest as well, and he says, "It wouldn't be smart to be throwing slugs in a place like this. But if I ever wanted to hurt you, human, I could do a lot of damage."
I'm gonna just give this dude a once over to see what his fucking deal is.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and make a perception check. Yeah, this guy seems really just needlessly aggressive right now. You're not sure what is sort of the reasoning behind it.
What should I roll?
Go ahead and roll perception to size this Turian up. All right. No success, but a lot of advantage, which is very interesting. So you don't necessarily know what this person's deal is, but you do get some sort of useful, just tactical info as a person who has been into many scraps in your day. You notice that sort of the way he maneuvers around and shifts his weight and everything, you can see that he's got a cybernetic leg, and that it appears to not necessarily be in the best working condition. A little stiff maybe, maybe taking one too many knocks here and there. Definitely sort of past its prime. So a weak point you might exploit if you ever needed to on this Turian. Otherwise, you really can't get a good idea of what his deal is. He just seems like he might just be an aggressive person.
What is his class?
As far as you can tell, he does not have a typical player class as the rest of you do. But he seems, based on sort
That's
of like...
your first mistake, NPC. You need a class.
Based on the scars and his like familiarity with weaponry, he does seem like he has seen plenty of action.
I'll file him away as a soldier.
Okay. He lifts up one of your data pads and goes, is this important?
I'll slam the data pad back down. I'm like, look, buddy, I don't know why you're itching for a fight, but if you're so bored, there's a guy over there who's got drugs.
He kind of he chuckles a little bit at that and he says, "I'm looking for some more active entertainment right now." And you can see he's twitching based on the advantage you got before. You can see that he is strongly contemplating just punching you in the face and seeing where it goes.
I get up and I'm like, all right, so there's two ways we can do this. And then I punch him in the face.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll a melee check. We'll say that the difficulty for this is going to be reduced by 1 because you're cold clocking him with this beautiful attack. So go ahead and roll. Interesting. Nice. So this is a combat check. So go ahead and roll that 4 advantage you got any way you would like. Unfortunately, you did not hit this guy. So even though you go for a very quick kind of sucker punch, his reflexes are very fast, and he quickly backs away from you, kind of like casting some data pads onto the ground that sort of clatter around. So how do you like to spend that advantage you just generated in this situation?
Let me look at the thingy that you gave us. Advantage. I've got 4. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I will upgrade the... No, it's a T. Alright, so it's... I could do a power thing. No. Setback die to his next check. That's the one.
Fantastic.
And we'll do 2 of those.
You can only do 1 of each, unfortunately.
Okay. Then I'll do... I'll give myself a maneuver.
Ooh.
And I think I'll... Yeah, what should I do? I'm gonna...
You could potentially move. You could potentially grab something from your person. You could interact with the environment.
I know, but I don't want to grab a gun and shoot him. Like, he's right. We shouldn't be shooting inside a spaceship.
Grab a gun and then beat him with it.
Yeah.
Or shove a datapad down his throat.
So I think I'm gonna... I figure I'm in a corner reading.
Sure.
So I'll get out of that corner and into a place where I'm a little more free to move.
Maybe
That'll be my
Yeah,
maneuver.
spin around to like put him in the corner so you have a little bit of advantage there.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Okay. Well, this maneuver is very swift as you kind of like skirmish around. However, this Turian is definitely going to try and strike at you. Thanks to your setback that you just introduced by sort of like ducking and weaving, he is going to get a setback against this. And then he's going to try and punch you in the face. Let's see how that goes. All right. He rolls 2 successes and 2 threat, which is very interesting. So you get hit for 5 points of damage, and that is applied directly to your strain, as this is an unarmed brawling attack. A very rapid strike that he flings out towards you. But as he does so, you can see he gets quite severely off balance. Your quick maneuvering and a combination of him not being perfectly poised for this has sort of thrown him a little bit. So what would you like to do, Smiley?
He's definitely he's got some skills to him. I think I'm gonna go for the leg
Okay.
that I figured out earlier. I'm gonna see if I can't kick his kneecap out.
Sounds good. So I'm going to give you an automatic blue boost die to this, thanks to the advantage you set up earlier. So yeah, you can just go ahead and roll a melee brawl attack and see what happens.
There we go.
All right, that is going to be what's the damage for your melee attack or unarmed,
It's a
I guess?
normal fist, so I don't know what that is.
I think it's equal to your brawn, so that might be 3 or 2. I forget.
I'm still getting used to the character sheet.
Yes, of course.
There we go.
I think it's 3. So you just dealt 6 damage. Directly to this guy's strain, and you get 1 advantage as well. How would you like to spend that, if at all?
I will recover a strain.
Perfect. All right. So it kind of like is a very swift brawl. He gets some slugs into you. You get some slugs into him. After a short while, before it escalates much further, you can see he sort of backs up away from you, and he just kind of like smiles. You can see his long tongue just kind of like dancing around his teeth a little bit, and he goes, "Not bad, human. Not bad. Once we get down onto the surface, we'll have to have a bit of a rematch. See how well you hold yourself up down there. I got a few friends there as well, so I'm sure they'll be really excited to meet you."
Yeah, well, as you can see, I'm the mechanic, so in a day or so, when you snap your leg in half for good, come see me and I'll see if I can't fix that thing up, huh?
We'll see if you can get through all your training manuals by then.
Let's see if you can't get off the ship. That's quite the trick, too, I hear.
And as he backs away, he leaves you in peace for a moment before suddenly turning around and saying, "You got a name, human?"
It's Miles. What's your name?
Arcus.
Kiss. Good name.
And with that, he leaves. You have like a couple of bruises on your face there, Miles. You do have your own sort of like bed bunk quarters that is shared with some other people as well that you had to claim because basically it was the only one left. So when you head there to kind of like clean yourself up a little bit.
Oh no, I think I'll just leave that. I'll just get back to studying.
Sounds good. All right, yeah, you just get back to studying.
And then I see if I can't find a manual for that dude's leg.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, you can kind of like surf what feeble bandwidth you have with the extranet right now to see if you can find anything.
At least if I can identify the make and model,
Yeah, absolutely.
that might be useful. At
Go
some
ahead
point.
and just do a mechanics check to see if you can figure that out.
Excellent. Mechanics. There it is.
All right, you find the exact make and model of this cybernetic limb. You can see that this guy probably didn't spend a whole lot of money on it. It's a little bit old, a little bit outdated, and it certainly has not been maintained well over the years. So there's definitely potential stuff you could exploit there in the future if you wanted to. Excellent. All right. More agonizing hours go by. It starts to get swelteringly hot in this place. Something has broken down that cools the place down, and it is not pleasant at all. The three of you find yourself in this kind of like bunk room that you all just serendipitously found yourselves claiming because it was the only space left. I imagine that Talora and Miles, you're both a little bit annoyed that of course you have a Krogan roommate. That's so typical. Whereas you, Erda, are kind of like taking up a lot of space in this bunk room. So with the three of you there, as you're waiting for this journey to come to an end, you still don't really know how much longer it's going to be. Do you introduce yourselves to each other? Do you kind of keep your distance? How does you all being in the same space look?
I'm thinking to Laura will notice that he's kind of hurt a little. And she'll probably offer to dress his wounds because, you know, she's pretty good at that, and just like introduce herself and say, hey, I'm Talora Tassus, and I see you got a little something there. Would you mind if I dress that so that I don't have to look at that blood all the time?
It's a bruise. I can take care of it myself. But yeah, you see a Turian running around with a zigzaggy thing, you might want to steer clear of that dude's nuts.
All right.
Maybe not you, kid. You can get in his face all you like. And I directed, at Erda.
Oh. Nah. Fuck them. Turians are crazy.
I'll say.
Word.
You didn't, mess with the heat, did you? Get yourself some Tachanka air.
Nah. But I don't mind it. It's cold earlier.
Yeah. It's a bit warm for me.
Yeah, it's not very pleasant.
I'm supposed to be a mechanic when we get down there.
You gotta fix the heat.
Yes, please.
Regular mechanics is hard enough. Throw a spaceship into the mix. Especially one as old and rickety as this one.
At that moment, you hear a clang from something somewhere far off.
Like that.
Does it sound like any of, I can't think of the right word for it, but the general background hum of the ship in operation, did that change at all?
There's a minor sort of change in the frequency of the rumblings you've been hearing in the background. It's like, is that good? I don't know.
It fixed itself by breaking further.
So, does any of you know exactly what we're going to do on this place? They were very short on details.
Do you have an itinerary or something? I'm gonna work. As
More
a
like,
mechanic.
why are we here? What are we gonna do?
Is this an existential thing?
Totally.
There's a mine down there.
It's just like, why do we have so much security for just the mine?
I mean, have you seen wildcat mining? Oh, wait, maybe not.
Do I look like I've seen wildcat mining?
So there's usually xenobiology got to deal with, locals, animals. Sometimes there's some ungodly poisonous something or another. I'm usually fine, but they find that most other things aren't.
Do you not know where you're going to, Laura? You're going to a rough part of space.
The whole point is that I'm an educator. I am an archaeologist, and I am pretty good at protein stuff. I am not quite sure why they need me here.
Protein stuff.
Yes. I don't know.
Is that what
like
they
I said,
hired
they
you for?
was not really a choice.
Be careful. People die in mines.
A lot.
Yep.
Now, doesn't that show you why I kind of try and figure out what the hell is going on here first?
Don't you have a letter? Why the hell did you come here?
I didn't have a choice.
I don't see any ankle monitors on you.
Well, there's more things that keep you in chains that are not visible.
That's the truth. So what? You owe someone money?
No, I do not owe someone money. I have family. Let's just leave it at that.
The kind you're leaving or the kind you're wanting to go back to?
The kind I would rather will not stay indentured for the rest of their lives.
All right.
I mean, he's annoying. He's seriously annoying. But, yeah.
What about you, kid?
What about me?
You know, what brought you to this rock?
Work?
As a miner?
Nah, I'm muscle. Which, I mean, I imagine Smiley probably knows that this is a relatively small Krogan. Like,
That's why I'm calling you kid.
yeah. Up against another Krogan would probably lose that fight. Against everybody else, fair chance.
Well, if any of your stuff breaks, come say hi.
Maybe I will.
There is suddenly an explosion that rocks the entire ship, and you all feel yourself scrambling, flailing around, potentially colliding with the walls and the bedposts in this place, as the sort of percussive sound of this echoes throughout this this bad sort of not bed chamber, that's a terrible name, a bunk area that you're in. And there is a sort of another rumble as you feel the entire ship sort of like lurching to one side a little bit.
Damn it, I hate being on other people's ships.
And I'll start like grabbing my gear, just so if there's a pressure leak or something, I'm in my suit.
Mm-hmm. Very wise. Yeah, I believe all of you
Erda
have.
also puts the fucking exosuit on, mask and all.
Yeah, Dolores in her light suit, she'll just make sure that
Excellent.
is covered.
You all put on your helmets and masks. You all make sure your seals are good, just in case there's a depressurization going on. And there is another explosion that sort of lurches you all around a little bit. And you can start to hear alarms going off as well. There's sort of the sound of sprinklers sort of very slowly chugging their way on.
Can I identify this as that we're under attack, or that just the whole ship is falling apart because it's a bad ship?
You've been on enough bad ships and enough attacked ships to know that this is definitely somebody is launching an attack against you. And knowing this clunker, it probably will not survive much.
Damn it, someone's shooting at us.
So let's find where we can shoot back.
I don't think this tugboat has any guns.
Well, are they going to try and board us? Is there a place where we can see what's going on?
Yeah, come with me.
I'll lead them to a tactically advantaged location.
Okay, it is a bit labyrinthine on this ship. Small corridors leading to more small corridors. You pass through a lot of kind of panicking people along the way, who likewise are not certain of what is happening right now. And you can see like a bit of smoke coming from down one corridor as well. And then you suddenly hear sort of crackling over the sort of ship's intercom system. You all hear a voice that's a little bit garbled and distorted that says, "All right, everybody, here's how this is gonna go. We're gonna be taking every piece of cargo that takes our fancy, and we'll be taking everything from the rest of you that also takes our fancy. If you don't comply, we will obliterate this ship. So everybody, be good, stay down, and this doesn't need to get any messier than it already has." And you can see that there are also some sort of vid screens in some of the rooms that you pass as well, and it seems like whoever this person is, they've kind of hacked into the ship's communication systems in general, and you can see that there is a sort of this Asari-looking pirate woman who is dressed in sort of a fabulous sort of coat with like a very high collar, sort of got some war paint on as well. Seems to be petting a nearby Varen who is just sort of growling a little bit at her side as well. And you can also hear the sound of the sort of doors on this ship being opened. Which is to say you are being boarded, and before long you can hear the sounds of heavy footsteps making their way through this place, and you hear shouts at people just like, all right, get down, we're gonna be taking what we want from you. A lot of commotion going on right now. How do you all react? What do you all do?
I will have led them to one of the earlier spaces. Like I think I can anticipate where they would board from, and then I would be in a room very close to that, and maybe one that they would miss.
Okay, interesting. Sounds good. Why don't you roll a stealth check to see if you can both find a place that is appropriate for that and also remain somewhat hidden from their view. Oh, sorry, one sec. Let me apply difficulty to this. We'll say it's a bit cramped. However, there's a bunch of nooks and crannies. Also, that you're under a lot of pressure, so I'm going to add a setback die to this, so go ahead and roll again.
But I rolled well.
I'm sorry.
Can I also would like to activate my stealth generator, because I mean,
Okay.
might as well.
You
It
both
didn't show
notice
results.
that the massive hulking Krogan, like, no matter the situation, you got a Krogan behind you, that's great. Suddenly, bzz, the Krogan disappears from sight. She is gone.
I'm still gonna follow them, but I'm just gonna
Yeah.
a little less obvious in my, not so much of a red flag of follow that Krogan.
Yes, not the looming silhouette that you are. Excellent. So Smiley, you try and sort of like go over sort of the 3D map you have in your mind of this place, as you kind of do with every place you go to, just for the tactical purpose of it. You know where sort of the doors are that sort of for boarding this ship as well, and you know that there's sort of a T-junction there that you could potentially utilize to ambush or otherwise hide from notice from any would-be aggressors. However, when you get there, you notice that the area is filled with like some cargo has fallen down, just like blocking a bunch of the way. There's a lot of people who are just like scrunched up in the corners doing their best to hide. There are no places left for anybody to squeeze and stay hidden during this.
Damn.
Talora, what about you? How are you reacting to this situation?
I am thinking she's gonna stay really close to Miles, because it's like, in her mind she's probably trying to figure out if she has heard of this Asari before. I mean, she's pretty flamboyant, so just to see if she knows what they're actually looking for or who
Sure.
they are.
Go ahead and roll a knowledge check, and this will be a bit formidable because
Yeah,
space is big, but
yeah, it is big.
big reputations are also travel far, so we'll see. We'll see
Yes.
what you get. It looks like you have not heard of this person, no. They didn't say their name, there wasn't a whole lot to identify them with as well, but as far as you can tell, they did not. They seemed, like an Asari pirate of some kind.
She's then in her mind like, first off, where did the Krogan go?
You just heard a
Okay.
bzzz and then nothing.
All right, I hope she's still somewhere. And then she's going through what she has on her, and she's like, I don't really have anything much that they can take anyways, aside from my money. But I really don't like it. The bitch will not take my shit. And she kind of finds her spine.
And at that moment, you all see a trio of Vorcha who quickly round the corner. You can see one of them is like holding onto another member of the crew of this place and just kind of throws them to the ground, sort of taking something from them while it is happening, while the other two kind of move around, and they quickly see both Miles and Talora, and they raise their assault rifles that they both have, and they say, "Stop right there!"
Give us everything you have. Tribute.
I'm gonna raise my hands. Because they have guns, y'all. I'm just a mechanic.
To Laura, you likewise just
Just gonna put on this very nice smile and like be like, well, hello there. I am completely innocent. It's not I have a bayonet on my weapon. No, I'm just.
You can see these two Vulture quickly, without too much caution. They obviously aren't expecting much resistance. They move up to both of you, and while one kind of like aims a gun towards you, Smiley, because you seem the most threatening in this situation, the other one kind of puts this down for a second and starts kind of roughly sort of patting you down, trying to grab at anything you have on your person. Do you allow this to go on?
I think I'll point to the crates. We're next to a whole room full of crates.
I was like, that's all the stuff you want. Go nuts.
Okay, go ahead and roll deception, and we'll see if these Vulture fall for it. We'll do this.
In
That's under
reserve,
social skills.
I'd like to maybe pick up that gun that the Vorcha put down.
I didn't put it down physically, just kind of
Okay.
okay. But yeah, so Smiley, you kind of like offer the crates, and the Vorcha kind of looks at you and goes,
We will take those as well.
and then the Vulture reaches out and tries to prise your weapon away from you, Smiley. Whatever is most accessible right now. So what would that be?
I think that would be the shotgun or I've got the melee weapon on my side, shotgun in the small of my back, and the assault rifle right here. So
Definitely going to grab the shotgun then and sort of tries to prise it from the mag locks that keep it attached to your back.
I'll say, hold on, it's locked. Give me a sec, and I'll grab the thing and make to hand it over, and then I just shoot him.
All right, here we go.
How are we located? Because Telora would have while that was going on, kind of tried to inch, like behind one of them, and then try and use her biotic melee to like.
Oh hell yes! Inching
In the
behind
neck.
them will be tricky because of the crampness of the quarters. But why don't you roll a stealth check to see if you can just leverage the situation enough to make your way around.
As well, like I almost feel like this is not necessarily simultaneously, but like as here, let me get that unlocked for you, bringing it up to shoot,
It's like
whap with a fucking stun baton on the other guy.
Oh hell yes! Lots of simultaneous stuff. Love it. Okay, so Telora, you don't manage to sort of skirt your way around them, but that doesn't mean you can't just punch them in the face if you would like to.
Well, if I'm close enough, I will probably use my biotic melee to try and kind of like elbow one of them in the throat.
Love it.
With a pointy thing.
Nice.
The only thing I'm not quite sure if I'm rolling, it says because my weapon has a bayonet on it, I get like an extra die on something.
Yes, you get an extra blue die,
booster,
so I can add
but-
that. So
Yeah, because I was not sure how to add that.
that's fine. Let's resolve this one action at a time, but this is all happening simultaneously because all three of you just BAM went straight in there. Love it. Let's start with you, Smiley. You were just going for a shotgun blast. This is at a very close range, so it's only going to be a difficulty of 1. Go ahead and roll a shotgun. As I get some pirates. Arr. All right.
I hit him.
All right, that's a success.
Shotgun squad.
You fire the shotgun directly into this Vulture's abdomen. That's going to deal 8 points of damage, which immediately cuts through this thing's kinetic barrier. You hear the sound of the shield just breaking, and you see parts of the flechettes of the shotgun just sliding into this Vulture's skin as well. So what was that? That's a total of 8. Excellent. So that's its shield is gone, and then an additional 3 on top of that as the Vulture goes, ah! Yelling out both in pain and in annoyance that it fell for such a trick as well. You do get 1 threat added to the roll, though. So I'm going to say that while you do that, basically just the close quartersness of the situation, the sound of the shotgun reverberating this room, you suffer a point of strain. All right, so that happened as the same time as another thing happened. So Erda, you were going to smack one on the head with your shock baton. Were you going for the one that was grabbing the shotgun or the one who was aiming at Miles?
The one aiming.
Perfect. All right, you are currently cloaked, so if you hit, you will get bonus damage on this. Go ahead. Oh, sorry, one sec. Let me just adjust the difficulty. Go ahead and make a melee attack with your shock baton. As the rest of you just hear static coming from nowhere, and then suddenly an explosion of sparks that appears on this Vorcha. All right, so it's going to be 5 points of damage. That immediately cuts through the shield because it does extra damage to the shield, and then crosses over to do a little bit more as well. So the Vorcha loses, what's that, 5, 2, 3, so 2. This Vulture also screams in pain as these arcs of lightning kind of shoot out from it. Unfortunately, you also generated some threat in this situation, so I'm going to say that for you, Erda, well, I was going to say, I was going to do the reload one, but it's like, it's a shock baton. It does not need to be reloaded, so you're fine there. I'm going to say the target can make an immediate maneuver. So as you strike it, this Vulture very quickly reacts and pulls, you know, the weapon that they were aiming at Miles directly towards you and takes an aim at this Krogan who just appeared. So they're going to get a little bit of a boost to their next attack. However, I forgot you were cloaked, so that's going to be plus damage equal to your cunning. So what is that?
3.
3. So this Vulture is actually looking very, very unwell right now. Gah! Kind of, sort of, broken skin, slightly mangled face from this shock. A lot of lightning scars appearing on it. Beautiful. And while that was happening, Tilora, you were biotic mailing one in the throat. Was this the one grabbing the shotgun or the one aiming the gun?
Depending on how we're placed, right?
You're all very close right now. It's very tight.
Probably trying for the one that was aiming the gun, because Miles, in my mind, Miles got the other one.
Sounds good. All right, go ahead and roll to biotic throat punch this one. Okay, I think it is the sneak attack that Erda did was also a surprise to you. So as you go to attack this thing, suddenly his head explodes with lightning and a massive Krogan appears, and it kind of throws off your aim a little bit as you kind of slam your biotic-powered fist into the wall. It kind of dents in as well. However, you do generate a point of advantage, so is there a way you would like to spend that? You could potentially either recover some strain or add a boost die to the next ally's attack, if you would like.
Well, you haven't given me any strain yet, so...
All right. So would you like to open up an opportunity for an ally?
Yes, because I'm probably opening up the opportunity for Erda to attack again, because the dude has no clue what he got hit by, and I am right in front of him, and he's like, he doesn't know what the heck I did to him, because I'm the one who's attacking.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even know Erda is there, because I'm right in front of him. So yeah, that's definitely, she'll have an opportunity to she
all right.
I don't know, because she didn't tell me. Don't know yet. They will have an opportunity to attack.
Extreme close quarters chaos from 0 to 100 very quickly right now. Beautiful. All right, the pirates are going to retaliate, and they are not the most careful people in the world, so they are just going to straight up open fire on all of you. Miles will resolve you first, as the pirate in front of you, who you blasted, is going to quickly shoot at you at close range. This will be quite easy on their part. So here they go. And they missed. Amazing. Basically, your shotgun blast like sends them reeling backwards, like and just firing just a bunch of shots all over the place. You hear king, 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 as bits of, you hope not incredibly vital equipment, just burst and break. However, they generate 3 advantage, which is incredible. So I'm gonna say that for that, they basically, in the chaos, just kind of, you recoil a little bit and you have a setback die in your next move. Additionally, that pirate raider also heals a little bit. You can see the hardiness of the Vorcha is very apparent here as their wounds kind of close up before your eyes. The other one who saw Urda appears is also going to attack in a very similar way. And since they're aiming, they're going to get a little bit of a bonus. So Urda, you have this attack coming at you. As they get a... all right, you're going to take 5 points of damage plus an additional 1, thanks to the rapidity of their assault rifle. It's for a total of 6. And I'm going to say that you're also going to get a setback die simply because you're exposed and getting shot a bunch, and it's very harrowing for you right now. And then the third pirate raider, who is busy kind of stealing stuff from one of the hapless crew member on this ship, suddenly spins around to see all this happening and goes, "Boss will not be happy about this," and pulls out a grenade. And you don't need to be experts in combat to know that this is a terrible place. This is just a terrible idea to have this device. And they quickly kind of like press some buttons on it, and you just say beep, 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 and they get ready to throw. Let's jump back to the rest of you. What are you all doing? How are you all retaliating?
Urda's gonna try and leave the room and like tell the other two to do the same with the intent to seal the door behind us.
Okay.
You're gonna get him into the small little room that we're beside?
Yep.
Now, are you shoving the enemies inside, or are you shoving your allies inside, or are you just booking it?
So wait. To clarify, we're not in a room, we're outside of it?
You're in a
Yes.
corridor. There's a lot of adjoining rooms
Okay.
and adjoining corridors as well. But also, depending on the dice roll, the environment might change.
Okay.
Yeah, we're next to a room that's full of boxes and some people.
So then I guess I'm shoving us all into a room if I can manage,
All right.
and closing that door.
It's not hard for you to just basically do a light clothesline of your allies and shove them into the other room. It just depends on if the other two are willing to be swept away like this.
Yeah, Talora would be busy activating her tech armor, and she would just be swept over by the Krogan because she wasn't even. That was unexpected, and she wouldn't even be fighting it because she's like.
Love it.
I'd be aiming to try and shoot the grenade out of his hand, and then I'd get tackled.
You're like, I got this, don't work! All right. Okay. So yeah, Talora, you're going to activate your tech armor. Beautiful. Does your tech armor look particularly unique in any way, or is it very standard, kind of like beautiful, kind of orange glowing armor paneling that appears on you?
Well, it's totally purple because she's an Asari.
Oh, hell yes. Love
Has
it.
to be purple. Now, I am not quite sure. It says my soak is increased.
Mhm.
Or 2. Okay, and then where's the shield? It said restore shield, but
Yes, so that's going to be your blue bar, and you can actually, your shield is currently full because nobody's actually managed to get a hit on you
All
yet.
right.
So you're still good there.
okay, so I just got to up my soak by 2. Okay.
All right, go ahead and spend the strain as well required for that power. And
right.
yeah, so Miles, you were about to aim and you were shoved into this room. What are you doing with your turn?
I will close the door.
Okay, you reach out and hit the panel, and I'm going to spend a GM story point, the only one I have. Boop. Oops, I pressed the wrong thing. I'm going to spend a GM story point to say that the door goes and then gets stuck. It is broken and does not appear to be functioning right now. That would only be a maneuver for you to do that, though, Miles. So it's still something you want to do for an action. Go for it.
My action would be to fix the door.
All right, beautiful. Go ahead and roll a mechanics check. Let me just set the difficulty real quick. I'm going to add a setback because this is very harrowing circumstances. You are on a timer here, so go ahead and roll when you're ready.
Is there an aid mechanic in this game?
There
Yeah,
is, yeah.
because-
You can give a blue boost die to people if you can justifiably help them out with something.
Okay, because I would like to also use some mechanics to try and help get this
and
door
try and help
unfucked.
because
Because I mean,
Okay.
it's like
I don't
all of
wanna
us
get blown up.
trying to move that door.
All right, let's see if I can just do that then. Da-da-da-da.
I mean, I don't need it. I got 3
Well,
successes.
You might, because it might give you get rid of that threat that was generated. So let me just roll some extra dice here. Hey, you got rid of the threat! Beautiful. So like something bad was about to happen until you both intervened. So all three of you immediately kind of like watching in horror as the door that was meant to shield you from an explosion just stalls. You all just go, ah! And just kind of like dive into the mechanics.
It closes.
And yeah.
With the occasional attempt to like manually force the door closed.
Yeah, like some of you are closing, like the bright light of an Omni tool lights up as well as you quickly try to sort of find the problem and solve it quickly. It was just a rusty servo basically, and you very quickly find a solution to the problem, and it locks close.
Can we say that this Vorcha has tried to throw the grenade through the crack and it just closes, so it bounces off the door right back at him?
With the 2 advantage that you generated, I love that image, yes. So you kind of like watch in horror as the grenade flies through the air, slow motion, and then king, it bounces off, deflected, and then moments later you just hear boom, and there is a severe indentation that occurs on the sort of rickety door in front of you, but it is more than enough to protect you all from the shrapnel and the concussive blast of this grenade. And you just hear kang, 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 kang as bits of scrap and machinery just fall. But you're all safe. Those other
I'm
Vorcha
imagining
are
that
definitely
door
soup.
is like boils, like a bubble comes out, and since we're right in front of it, it's like, whoop. There's the door.
And like it's
bend
also,
outwards towards us, like, all right.
there's also so little room, so you're kind of like on crates right now, sort of like maneuvering around each other in just a very awkward way as well. Great, you know, getting to know each other personal exercise of trying to survive a grenade going off in the next room. Awesome. Yes. With that, you don't hear any more commotion from outside. Maybe a little bit of ringing in your ears, but the door is thoroughly just bent and broken. You do not think it's going to be easy to get out of this place you're in. What's the play from here?
Well, now we can just hide out here until they leave.
And I'll just try to get some semblance of comfortable.
All right.
It's just like until Laura's like, in the wood. Well, I guess there's nobody to tell them where we are, and they're just gonna think these dudes were being stupid.
This door ain't gonna open anytime soon.
No. Well, you know what? If they're trying to blast us out of the sky, there's really nothing we can do anyways. And she'll go
Nice
into
work back there, by the way. Both of you.
That worked out fine. And she's gonna go into a corner and she's gonna like try and like record a message for, you know, her family just in case.
Oh. What about
Who are
you?
you
Otis?
messaging?
I'm gonna see if I can't hack into, like, if there's any semblance of computer array in here, or like a panel I can get into to try and get into the computers of the ship. I'd like to try that.
I
But,
don't
like-
think there would be like a computer access panel in this room, but if you would like to spend a story point to establish a fact about this scene, you can absolutely do that to say there is an access point in this room.
Okay. I think I'd like to use that story point instead to establish that there's like not necessarily a computer in this room, but if I were to like, you know how coaxial cables are in like if in the walls of I'm trying to think of the fucking word, but I can't think of it. But essentially a communication cable that I can then hook my Omni tool to try and like get into the data that's going through.
Oh, love that. Yeah, you can absolutely, if you would like to, you can spend a story point, and that can be a part of this room the whole time.
Okay. Does anyone object to me using that story point?
Nope.
I
I'm
encourage
just
you.
imagining you ripping out, you know, that panel where the channel is that the cable goes through, and just like doing all of that, and it's like,
Hell yeah, love it. Yeah, don't worry about, you know, spending story points because they go back and forth between us, so ideally they go
Okay.
very quickly. So yeah, go for it. This is exactly what they're for.
All right. Then I'm going to try and see what I can't drum up about the situation at.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll computers then. And since you established a nice situation for yourself, I'm going to say that you get a little boost on this as well. So go ahead and roll computers.
Okay. 'Computers.
And the rest of you could hear that, you know, spending story points because they go back and forth between us, so ideally they go very quickly. So yeah, go for it. This is exactly what they're for.
All
beyond the corridor and sort of in the sort of adjoining rooms around on the ship, you can hear the sound of gunfire. You can hear the sound of sort of like screams and yells. It seems like there are definitely sort of people on here who have seen like, oh, now these pirates are straight up attacking us, we're not going to go down without a fight, and now it's just bedlam out there as both sides fight for survival.
Who's in the room with us? You said there were people in here?
There are no people in the room itself. There are some people kind of like in the corridors.
Okay.
Well, I guess actually no, my mistake. There would have been people like cramped up in here, desperately trying not to get shot. So yes, you can see that there is that that one Volus from earlier who is like kind of like awkwardly sitting to the side, just holding their knife out with a trembling hand. And there's sort of a more sort of lithe Solarian who's just kind of climbed up on top of a lot of crates, who just hopes you haven't noticed, and you definitely have noticed them. All right, so that computer.
Nobody we need to worry about right now. Good.
So, Erda, you were not successful in sort of finding necessarily a lot of. Well, I guess what kind of stuff were you looking for when you were hacking into this?
More so just general status stuff, but also potentially see if I couldn't get information on the status of the cockpit specifically, because I mean that Asari is up there, or had been, and had hacked in. I mean, seemed like a decent bet to try and not literally get into a hacking fest with an Asari, but just see what they were getting into.
Sounds good. Unfortunately, with sort of all the subroutines you have access to, you're unable to really get any information on the cockpit or sort of the activity there. However, thanks to the advantage that you got, you can see, you kind of like get access to a lot of the functions of the ship that you're on right now, concerning doors, concerning like fire suppressant systems, and various other things like that. You can see the statuses of a lot of things on this ship. So if you wanted to, you could potentially control some of these systems to your advantage.
Can Talora walk over there and just like see? Have you tried to check the video feeds, and then she can try and help and log into and try and see if she can get you the videos, if there's video feeds on this boat.
That is one of the systems you have access to. They are extremely grainy. There are not many, but there are some camera feeds.
Because at least that way we know where they are.
Yeah, I can see.
Maybe we can blast
this
them into
corridor
space.
here, which is empty. I can see that corridor over there. I can't really tell what's going on. It's too grainy. I want to look at the cockpit, but subroutines don't get up that far. You got a newer model of OmniTool?
Well, she can always try and see if she can get in.
Yeah, absolutely. If you would like to also make a computer's check to see if you can get your way in. Ho-ho! That's a triumph, everybody. Our first triumph of the game.
Nice.
Effectively a super success. You did generate threat though, which I love. But you were successful. And since you were triumphant about it, would you like to narrate sort of the flourish or the particularly impressive aspect of what you just did to gain access to the systems you were looking at?
Yeah. So I'm thinking she'll walk up and just do the same thing that Urder did, and just her fingers are kind of flying really fast, so she's kind of muttering to herself, and no, okay, this will leave a trace, but you know what, this is important. We really need to see now, even if they then know where we are. And she kind of then just says, all right, here we go, let's see what we can see. They might know where we are now, but not like they can get in here easily.
And immediately,
while this is going on, I'm gonna be impressed by what I'm seeing, and I'm gonna lean over to the Volus and I'm be like, "You see that?" And when he's distracted, also by how impressive that is, I'm gonna steal his knife.
he's clutching it in his hand, his last line of defense, and you're gonna steal his knife.
He's too nervous with that thing. I don't trust him.
If you say, all right, no, that's fair. All right, so this is gonna be tricky. But also the Volus is not the strongest person in the world. So, I will give you a setback simply because they are kind of terrified and they are going to clutch onto it for dear life, but it's not going to be too hard, actually. I am... well, no, we'll leave it how it is. All right, go ahead and roll when you're ready. And to go ahead and click the spend story point button on your sheet. I forget where it is.
Nope.
Incredible. So you fail to steal this Volus's knife, and yet an advantage is triggered from this situation. Let me just take a second to wrap my head around what that looks like. I guess when you try and seize the opportunity to take the knife away from this thing, because you're scared this Volus might get a little bit too antsy with it, you see that like the second you even try to get close, you get very close to getting severely hurt, and in that moment, you can see that. As they sort of shuffle almost crab-like away from you, sort of like better defend themselves now, thinking that you might be a problem, they reveal a absurdly large ventilation shaft that is currently covered with a grate.
Oh. Hey, buddy, you're sitting in front of a little shaft there. You want to be safe?
Stay back, Earth Clan. I know how to use this.
Yeah, that's my problem. But you're sitting in front of a grate. I get that thing off, you can hide inside the ship. Way safer.
He immediately seems mollified and goes, yes, and sort of like clambers around the boxes, kind of shoving them a bit into some of the rest of you in this cramped space.
I'll open the grate as best I can while the cool stuff's going on.
Yes, well, go ahead and roll a brawn athletics check. Let me just make sure the difficulty's going to be good here. Yeah, go ahead and roll that while we resolve the rest of the stuff. Yes, so, Talora, you and Erda's combined effort, you managed to get sort of video screen of the current situation of the cockpit, and also access to the systems on it as well. And just like you were worried about, you are sort of exposing yourself with a very sort of easily traceable line to what you're doing and where you're doing it from. And when you see the cockpit, you can see there's a lot of various sort of crew members there who are kind of tied up, sort of kneeling down. There are about 5 pirates that you can see, in addition to... you don't see the Asari on this cockpit. You imagine that her vid screen must have been coming from her ship, and she somehow hacked into the systems here. However, there is sort of a gruff-looking Krogan there who appears to be the sort of lieutenant of the rest of these pirates. And immediately you hear crackling onto the intercoms the voice of the Asari saying again, and she says, "Okay, so I just asked for one simple thing, which is to stay down and not do anything, and now you're attacking my people, you're hacking into things. This has gone terribly. This has gone very terribly. I don't have time for this. So, bye, everybody." And there's just silence after that. Meanwhile, Miles, you rip this... this grate off with ease, but there's a bit of a tweak in your back when you do so I'm going to say 1 point of strain for you, unfortunately. Age is catching up to you.
So there's how many of them in our cockpit?
You saw approximately 5, including the Krogan.
Right. Since I'm thinking maybe the Asari won't want to blow up her Krogan, can we use our access to lock the door so they can't get out of the cockpit for now?
You absolutely can, if you would like.
And also, do we have access to communication? Can we send like an emergency beacon out that you were being attacked?
That is not something you have access to at this time, no. All kind of communication stuff is either being jammed or is being hacked at a higher echelon by whatever specialists these pirates have.
Well, she's gonna look over at Erda and says, "Well, should we talk to the Pirate Queen? Or should we just..."
By talk to, you mean lock her people in the cockpit and send her a vid? Then yes.
Yeah. Let's say negotiate with hostages.
Better make it anonymous, huh? We've got to go advertising.
Well,
I'm not
gonna
saying
put my face on it.
Yeah, no.
We're just gonna send over the video of them being locked in. You can see they're trying to bang on the doors. Let's just send that to the Pirate Queen. Let's see what happens.
Okay, you send a transmission of that video, hoping it finds its target. Meanwhile, Miles, you've opened up this sort of vent casing really easily. You kind of like bend down to take a look in there. Immediately, the Slayered with quite incredible gymnastic ability sort of hops down from the top of the crates and just slides right into this vent and just hit dunk 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 as they quickly make their escape.
I'll tell the Volus, like, hey, he's getting your spot.
I don't think I can fit in there.
Of course he can. He's a Volus. They're tiny.
He's very rotund.
You did say
Well, you
it
said
was,
it was
a
big.
rather large.
It is rather
But-
large.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, I did say it
He's
was
just
rather large.
self-conscious.
this is sad for this guy.
Then
He's
in that
short
case,
and
allow me
tall.
to retract that and say he does immediately go into it and just blink, gets plugged in like Winnie the Pooh and just starts slowly moving his way through the grates very, very loudly. Clang, 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 clang.
Well,
This way to freedom.
that'll be distracting, and I'll put the grate back on.
Okay.
Also, is there any way to get off the ship? Is there any emergency, or do they have like a smaller vessel that we could get off the ship with?
You will notice that there was a smaller vessel, sort of as part of the stuff being delivered. There was like a very small shuttle included as well. There was an all-terrain transport as well, which, in a pinch, if you're in the right place, could potentially be a nice impromptu escape pod. I imagine. Well, did any of you sort of like see if there were escape pods on this ship? Is that kind of in your nature as you went onto this place?
Yes.
I mean, Erda, yeah.
Okay, then you would know that there are escape pods on this ship. There are certainly do not seem to be enough for everybody, and it is a question of just like, how old are these? Did they get upgraded at all, or are these did they come with the model of this ship? Because if so, they're going to be a bit rickety, but functional.
Well, but the shuttle would be new because it's gonna get delivered, right?
Yes.
So now I'm guessing that Miles would have been interested in that since he's a mechanic. So would that shuttle be able to get us to the planet?
Probably.
It's better than any alternative right now, it seems. And Miles, you also notice, due to your sort of your military background, you notice that some of the things being supplied in the larger crates in the cargo bays were a lot of mechs. Security mechs, specifically. So,
Okay.
you've sent the video to, kind of like beamed it out there. There's been no real response, and sort of the sounds of chaos from outside are starting to die down a little bit. You don't hear a whole lot of gunshots anymore, and it's just the three of you in this room. What would you like to do?
Should we try and get off the ship? If she is not taking the negotiation, she might still blow us up.
Yeah. I'd like to try 3 things, and they're going to be a bit outlandish, so please,
Love it.
feel free to push back on any and or all of them.
Do this.
The first thing, I would like to see if I can't, buy us a little time, because vessels, when they attach via airlock, they have to lock.
Mhm.
I want to see if I can't get this vessel's locks to grip that vessel's locks and hold it there,
Interesting.
at least temporarily.
Okay.
Oh, so
I
they
would also like to
release
see
it,
if we
yeah.
can't activate some of these mechs, because I know at least 2 of the mech varieties have self-destruct sequences that we can then use to essentially damage that pirate's vessel via the airlock. Even if they can't get aboard, they'll leave a hole in that ship.
You're gonna have the mech walk into their ship and blow up.
Yes. As many, well, not as many, but at least a handful of them. I'd like to try that. To cover our attempt to escape for when she eventually starts shooting.
Got it.
You might want to do that on the actual mech, not from here.
And I'll start to open the door.
Okay, another athletics check from you to see if you can pry open this door. Or mechanics if you would rather like to see if you can get the machinery to function for you. Actually, no, sorry. It's all banged up.
Beat
Roll
the
athletics.
frickin' thing back into place and shove it real good.
Oh, sorry, one sec. That was going to be slightly more difficult, so go ahead and roll it again.
Curses!
Sorry.
Do we need to help?
That's a lot of threat.
All right, Miles tries to open up the door. Unfortunately, the threat increases. You basically manage to pry it open a little bit, and like you're making extremely slow progress, and it's a bit frustrating, getting a little bit tired, but you are making progress. Unfortunately, as you are kind of going about this, you do notice that one of the pirates is walking straight by at the time, and just sees this person like furiously trying to pull themselves out of this room, and they take a second to sort of like look at you and sort of size up the situation and figure out, do I want to just engage in some bloodlust right now? Do I want to save my own skin? So it's kind of like this vulture is kind of standing just like currently undecided.
Should we leave through the air shaft instead, maybe? Would that get us there?
I'll have
Let me
this
see.
door in a second. Come on.
And Erd is gonna try and like match schematics, I guess. Try and see where this air shaft leads, if it actually will take where we want to go, and if a Volus got stuck, I'm gonna get stuck.
he made it through. It was just a bit tricky.
Yeah. So I'm thinking while she's saying that she's probably gonna take her shuriken, her M4, and just like aim it through the opening, like maybe you should walk on.
Love it. Let's get coercion from you.
Right.
Let me just, okay, that's good. And from Erda, yeah, you're looking at what passes for schematics on this ship. You get the feeling a lot of it is kind of out of date. However, you can see that the particular shaft here just kind of leads to one of the corridors, and then you should be able to just get out of it and move around freely fairly quickly. The big risk being that you'll just be in the open and exposed from any baddies roaming around.
Yeah, I am not very threatening, I think.
Yes, so you go to threaten this vulture, and with a failure and with threat generated, the vulture kind of looks at you and goes, and just gets ready to pull the trigger. And that is where we will take a break, everybody, at the precipice of this danger. We'll see where it goes from there as our heroes. No, not yet. As our motley crew gets ready to get themselves out of this very bad situation. We will be right back, anybody. Don't go anywhere. See you very soon. Bye. Hello, everybody. I just had to burp the second I came back, so apologies, everyone. But hello, welcome back to Mass Effect. To catch you all up, brave, sort of serendipitous crew who are going to a mining base for some illegal mining operations have found that their big clunking cargo ship is under attack by pirates, the space pirate variety. And after a bit of an altercation with some Vorcha, a grenade went off. A number of other crew members are fighting back. Everything is very quickly going to hell, and the pirate captain seemed to imply that this is not worth her time, and that the ship that you are on might be turned to dust soon. But she still has a lot of crew members on board. So let's see how this resolves. Where we immediately left off, there was a Vorcha pirate who was contemplating whether it was better to get off the ship or to shoot at some people in a room, and after a very valiant attempt by Talora to convince him to move on with his life, he decided he would do the exact opposite, and it will now gleefully open up a barrage of fire right at you, Talora. So I'm afraid you're going to have an attack coming your way. So this Vorcha is going to go for that.
I think,
is very close.
is she in cover from the door?
We can absolutely say yes, there is cover, so I'll upgrade the difficulty of this twice, as our cover mechanics do, and you'll also have your tech armor on, so whatever you get hit by will be reduced by 2. However, this Vorcha is also going to use their auto-fire property of their weapon, meaning that the difficulty of the attack is increased, but if they hit, they could potentially trigger more hits. So we'll see how this goes. So here it comes. The Vorcha snarls, laughs, opens fire, and I rolled the wrong thing. Let me try that one more time, because the Vorcha just rolled 7 bad things, and that's not what's happening right now. With a maniacal laugh, the Vorcha kind of like, here's your, what was meant to be kind of quite intimidating move, and instead...
She's a teacher, so...
yeah. Blam, blam, blam. Let's try that. All right. With that, the Vorcha fails to hit you. Basically, you see he kind of like slaps the side of his rifle and goes, "Ah!" and fires so that the recoil immediately like shoots above your head. Kang, 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 ting, 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 tsh. Smashes a bunch of things, a bunch of bullet holes everywhere, but not a single shot actually hit you. Maybe one was deflected from your kinetic barrier, but you are fine.
What does it mean when you roll multiple failures?
It means nothing, as long as there is at least one. Like, the degree of failures is not influenced by the number of failure symbols. However, the same is not true for success symbols. So, the Vorcha misses, generates some advantage, which I'm just going to say is... just going to hone in on you, just aim at you a little bit more, so they're going to get their next attack could potentially be a bit more accurate. But for now, you're safe. What do the 3 of you do in response to this in this small cramped room you find yourself in?
I'm going to first take cover from the guy shooting. And then I'll be like, and I'll also put my gun through the door and shoot him.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead and wait for me to set this difficulty. There we go. We'll say that he has a bit of partial cover just based on the sort of weirdness of the situation. But you're at close range, so go ahead and roll. Blam! And that's a success. That's 7 damage with your shotgun as you blast this guy. So you cut right through his kinetic barrier. You hear the very satisfying pop of the capacitors, and also slightly satisfying sound of Vorcha flesh getting slightly torn up as well. Blam! And yeah, that's great. You kind of hear the Vorcha go, "Ah!" in response.
That's my turn.
All right. Anything from the Krogan or the Asari?
Well, Talora would probably shoot back. She already got her gun aimed at him.
All right, great. Let me just set that difficulty real quick. All right, go ahead and roll. Oh no, it's not Talora's day today, unfortunately. Too many new things, I think. But you kind
It's like, he almost shot me!
you aim your
I shot him out of
submachine
the
gun.
way. It's normal.
The slug was so heavy, the Vorcha kind of flew back a little bit.
And for a maneuver, she'd probably take cover.
Yes.
After shooting.
You fire a bunch of shots, and then you quickly leap to cover. So now you're both quite nicely nestled in cover in this room. Bringing it to the Krogan. What would you like to do, Erda?
Shoulder check the door.
Oh
you
no.
are muted.
Can't hear you. No.
I was muted. But I don't know that shouldering the door would necessarily help in this situation, except
could.
maybe get it back closed.
Good.
You know what? Yeah, I think that's probably what Erda's going to try and do, is get it to close again. Because, I mean, that's one way to end this moment.
Sure. Yeah, if you'd like, you can make an athletics check to re-pry the door closed once again.
Funny enough, I don't actually have athletics as a skill.
You're a very unique Krogan.
We just shoot him in the head.
However, you
However.
succeed. You manage to slam the door close, kind of creaking it back closed again. However, you did generate threat, and I'm wondering if the threat I have in mind is a bit too severe. Now you're all fine. You all hear a ka-tink, clunk, clunk, as you see a live grenade thrown in at the last second.
God damn it.
Everybody into the hole. Pull the grate off.
All right. You quickly
Shove
maneuver
some
to the
boxes
grate.
between me and the
I'll
grenade.
kick the grenade into the grate.
Okay. Interesting. Let's have you, Miles, roll coordination to see how quickly you can react to this and how well you can mitigate damage to everybody.
Probably not well. Nope.
All right, that's a failure and a threat. You try and kick the grenade in. It kind of like rolls away and just kind of bounces off the edge of it. You all quickly just dive down behind the crates to protect yourself as best as you can. But unfortunately, the grenade goes off with a deafening explosion. You're all going to take 12 points of damage as it explodes. And that is reduced by 2 for you, Talora, thanks to your tech armor. So you only take 10.
Well, the soak says 3. I don't know why I had 1 soak before. I probably...
Soak says 3. It should just be
Yeah.
2, I think, for the tech armor.
Well, because I already had 1 on there. I'm not sure
Oh,
why.
we are ignoring that one for now. So it's just
Right.
straight from
So
tech
just
armor.
2.
Yeah.
So it's 10.
10 for you, and then 12 damage for everybody else. All in all, could have been worse. And yeah, now there's just a lot of smoke and slight flames happening in this room, and a bunch of scrap just falling from the ceiling. This place seems like it could collapse at any moment. And it's just ringing in your ears right now. What would you like to do?
Ah, damn it. Sorry.
I'm gonna take a sec to regenerate my shields. That's
Okay.
my action.
Yeah, and Talora is probably trying to do a medicine check on herself to heal the wounds because she got pretty severely hurt.
I think it took from your shield first, so you'd have taken 10 to the shield.
I do not even see your shield.
Oh, you don't even see the
Oh,
shield.
it's because it's in the other thingies, not on my thing.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah.
Ah,
So you're still at full health. Your shields took the full brunt of that.
okay, so I would have to set the shield down to 6.
Mhm.
All right, never mind. Then
Your wounds
fix
are
that
fine.
other thing.
So Miles, go ahead and regenerate as you would like.
Mhm.
And then you hear from kind of outside the door, there's a sound of somebody who says, "Oi, what are you doing? Get moving! The boss said she's gonna dust this place very soon. Move it!" And you just hear the voice go, "Ah, you should have seen how many people I just killed. It was amazing. I only wish I could have seen it." And the other voice is just like, "I don't care, just come on, move." And they quickly move away from your location.
I tried to seal some blast doors in that corridor to make it harder for him.
Yes, you absolutely could try that using the what you've tapped into. So go ahead and roll computers, and I'm gonna say a bit of a penalty since a lot of the equipment in this room is a bit broken and it could interfere. Yeah, you hear just the sound of, and they go, "Hey, Who did that? Ah! As they bang on the walls, unable to get out of this corridor you've stuck them in. However, in you doing that, it overloads some of the circuits, and there's just a spark in your face as a lot of the sort of the hidden power pylon, now exposed by the collapsing walls around you, explodes. And you're going to take 3 strain, Erda.
So while she was doing that, could I do the same thing that Miles was doing, just restoring an amount of shield?
Yes. You could quickly
intellect,
do that.
Right?
Yeah, equal to your intellect.
Oh, 4. That's nice.
And for Miles, it's much higher because he's very good at shields.
I'm not good at this.
So how does one, like, what is the action involved in recovering strain if you're not engaged with anything?
At the end of the encounter, you can basically roll either discipline or cool to recover strain. Since there are no current hostile threats, well, you're still technically in an encounter because you're still in a lot of danger, so we'll say it's not quite there yet.
The hostile threat is the ship blowing up.
Yes, the ship soon to be blowing up. So, you're all in this very cramped room that is thoroughly destroyed thanks to the antics of pirates and yourselves. What would you all like to do?
Alright, let's get to that shuttle thing.
And I'll again try to open the door.
Okay, going back to the door. Love it. Another.
Oh wait, there's still guys out there.
Well,
That's where the thing is.
can you just let them go, please, so we can try and open this door together?
You can't go through
But
the vent. The
we
door's
can-
the only road.
Let him through
But
that
you
door
two
and
can
close
go
it.
through the vent.
I'm tired of glowing through vents.
And I'll work on the door.
Okay, go ahead. And roll
I
that.
can't let them go. The thing's
Son
busted.
of a monkey!
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you fail to open the door, but you do generate advantage in this situation. So although you don't manage to open it up, the sheer damage that's been dealt to this room at this point, and to the ship in general, it's been shaken a lot more than it should have. You can see that, like, the nearby wall, you could probably just, like, smash it with the butt of your rifle a little bit and kind of, like, make your own way out to, like, an adjacent room or something.
Oh, okay.
But the door is thoroughly just stuck in place, just ruined and bent.
Yeah. But I see that one of the other walls is able to be broken.
Yeah, you can absolutely smash your way through there if you would like.
Alright, this door isn't going anywhere. Hey kid, how about you kick that wall over there? Looks like it took a bunch of the blast.
All right, fine.
I know she's bad at that.
While she's doing that, the dudes are stuck, right? We can see them on the camera.
You can't see anything currently because you lost all your camera feeds and everything, but you can hear them kind of like banging, just like, "Hey, somebody get this open!" They're thoroughly distracted.
Yeah, was just thinking maybe I could drop some fire suppressant foam on them or something, just for fun.
Maybe, but unfortunately, you've lost all access to the systems at this point.
Too bad. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Find another access point. Who knows?
Oh.
So, Erda, would you like to smash through this wall as the mighty Krogan that you are?
I would actually like to see if I can't, make use of my demolition skill to
Oh, interesting.
instead, because, like, while, yes, Krogan, stronger than a human, I'd rather not put myself through a wall when I have, like, 2 shields right now.
This is very interesting because I very much kind of class demolitions as like chemical explosives, but who's to say it's not the dismantling of a wall? I buy that.
I mean,
that's fine.
I imagine there's stuff, like, there's freaking bits of electronic in here. There's now smashed up crates of who knows what was in them.
Yep. Love
I'm
it.
sure I could find something.
All right, go ahead.
I learned my demolition skill at a rock concert.
Go ahead and roll demolitions. There will be a setback to this, but I believe you have a talent that gets rid of setback dice on demolitions. Is that correct?
Yes.
Then I will simply
Yes.
eliminate that. Whatever difficulties present themselves to you, you quickly find a ingenious way around, thanks to your experience smashing things.
Can we try and aid her?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like
I'd also
open some
like
more
to spend a
crates.
story point to, like, upgrade one of the...
Awesome. Cool. kind of had to do that before the roll.
Oh, okay.
But this is our first time playing this game. We're all still learning. It sounds like your allies are helping you too. So go ahead and do that roll again, but not yet. Let me just upgrade it for you for the story point, and then give you some blue dice from your allies. And then now go ahead and roll, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Oh no! It turned from nothing into a pure failure. That's incredible.
It doesn't want us to get out of this room.
Seriously, gosh, I wish you weren't in this room anymore. But yes, you slam onto the wall. And here's the thing. You fail to smash down the wall. However, the ceiling above you collapses on all of you. You're all going to take 5 points of damage. However, you can see that there is like an open deck up there. You can easily climb on the crates. You can see a clear way out of this room. That ideally...
Is the soak still active?
The soak is, yes, so you only take 3.
All right.
I'll get rid of this stuff, that's no longer necessary. So, through various attempted means of escaping this room, you have inadvertently created a ceiling exit, as the ceiling has fallen on you.
All right. So, oh, well, look. I guess we can stack some crates and we can get up there. Can we see, or like, I think I'm probably going to ask Miles. Hey, Miles, what's up there? You know those
Let's find out.
schematics.
I'll just climb up.
Yeah, Miles,
We're in a hurry.
you can see that there's no, like, upper deck of any kind here. It seems like this entire ship is, like, one flat thing. What it is, it's a number of, kind of, like, smaller maintenance tunnels. So a lot of kind of exposed cables and things all around the place, but otherwise plenty of room for you and your companions to move around, and ideally as well maneuver around the ship without running into anybody as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna climb up.
Okay, easily done.
Yeah. Delora is going to look at Erda and say, you might want to do that vanishing thingy again, because I think maybe else that clumping might alert people.
It's fine. This whole ship is gonna fall apart. Well, I'll pull Erda up.
Yeah, I just don't want nobody shooting in the ceiling.
Laura
She's going to
first.
climb up.
I'll follow you all a little bit behind. I'm heavier than you and all.
Yeah, so
Yourself.
Delora's going to head up.
I'll pull up to Laura then.
Okay, let's get all 3 of you rolling a stealth check to see how well you can maneuver through this place without alerting anybody to your presence. All right, Talora, success with threat.
I have no skill in that. Don't know how I did that.
From Erda, and advantage from Miles. So I'm just going to compile all that together, which averages out to success and advantage. So well done, everybody.
Why do I have a boost?
That's a good question. Let me double check that I didn't leave it on. I did not leave it on. Weird. Would you mind rolling again, Miles? Sorry. No, screw it. You'll get to keep that. Mistakes happen.
Okay.
Some serendipitous event occurred. Yes, you make it up into sort of these maintenance tunnels areas that's kind of above all these corridors, and like there's a moment where like a bit of grating falls down when you step over Erda, and you worry that somebody might have paid attention to that. Nobody did, and you all make your way through these tunnels. You eventually burst out of a grating that leads you into one of like the main cargo bays of this place, and it is filled with crates. Massive industrial cargo containers housing mechs and equipment and all sorts of other useful things for the mining base. You also see that they're kind of exposed out in the open. There is sort of the all-terrain vehicle, some sort of industrial mining vehicles as well, and the shuttle as well. You also hear over the intercom the sound of the pirate captain who says, "All right, you're really taking your time, so if you're not on my ship within the next 30 seconds, I'm gonna detach and let you all die with all that rust. So better hurry." And then cuts out again.
So did Erda actually manage to get the clamps to hold on before all of this happened?
Unfortunately, no.
Too sad.
You want the shuttle? Or you want to get on her ship? What do you want?
Oh, you think we can get away on the shuttle? I don't really feel like.
Yeah, it's risky, but so is getting on her ship.
Yeah, we don't know how many people are on there. And then
Take note.
once we kill them, what we're gonna do? What you think, Erda?
I don't have a army's worth of people, and I don't have a crew to fly an entire ship.
Shuttle it is.
It is.
I'm gonna go to the shuttle.
Okay.
Which is in the bay, yes?
It is. You also notice that as you enter this place, you kind of pass through the what would it be? I guess, yeah, as you enter the cargo bay itself, you can see that there is a massive sort of indentation in the side of this place. It seems like the adjacent cargo bay might have been either destroyed or have been plundered by this point. This one currently seems to be untouched. Yeah, and you make your way to the shuttle. It's quickly apparent that you are not the first people who thought of this idea, and you can see that there's a number of the crew members who are kind of with you on this journey who are standing around the shuttle, desperately looking for a way to activate it, to get it flying, because right now it seems like it is not going, and they have not left with it.
Okay, so I'm assuming that there's mechanical and programming things to do to get this thing to be functional, because it has to get to the exit or whatever.
Sure.
And I think we might want to get the shields of this thing up, so when the ship explodes, the little ship is protected by shields and
Yes.
might be fine.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Sure.
So I'm gonna work on the mechanical things, and I'm gonna tell
Erda, why don't you see about that plan with the bots? See if they can't slow her down. Delora, you want to get to the ship? Make it, just do the thing.
and I'll start moving stuff.
Delora is going to put on her teacher voice. How many of the crew members are there, and will they all fit with us?
There's about 10. Fitting, it's gonna be not spacious at all, but hey, that's how you've been living for the past few days. So
All right. So she's going to put on her teacher voice, and she's going to be like, "Hey, everybody, you got mechanic skills? Over here to our human Miles. You got computer skills? You're with me. You want to help some bots to blow up their ship? Over here. Let's move it."
there's a human who steps forward, who is kind of like sweating quite profusely, who sweats some, wipes some sweat from her brow, and she says to all of you, "The problem is the controls are locked, and none of us have the codes that we need to activate them. We need somebody who's really good at cracking into them, or we need to find another way. I'm personally thinking it's escape pod time. That's where I'm going to go." And she quickly starts maneuvering towards the other end of the cargo bay. The other people there, a couple follow her, some stick around the shuttle to see if there's anything that can be done.
Right. So, it's like, is what the code that we need, is it something we would need to crack, or if it's something I will... Ooh, never mind.
Sorry, no,
Sure.
that was from earlier. I forgot to click
Yes,
it.
thank you for that. A story point spin. Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, what's going to happen now?
That
I
was-
will use one later, but
This is basically
So-
you're all familiar enough with this kind of security system to know that it's like it's some kind of heavy level encryption to prevent theft, and it seems like only somebody like higher ranking amongst this corporation would have the codes. Alternatively, you would need some very expert hacking skills.
Right. So, can she try to get in? I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
failure is failure, right?
So just to clarify, Talora, you're going to go and basically hack the controls of the shuttle, while Erda, you're going to do some fun stuff with mechs. Smiley, you can see that this is not a mechanical problem at all, so how are you reassessing the situation?
There's gotta be something. There's stuff in the way, like maybe it needs to be fueled.
Well, maybe Orda needs help putting the bots together.
Actually,
Maybe the bots are in boxes and I can break those open.
Smiley, the biggest block you see is that none of you have any access to any doors in this place, which means that even if you do get the shuttle going, there's nowhere to go. So you could probably look for some manual override to like open up
for
the cargo bay.
Are we on the hangar? Is it like that? That the ship is here and I need these?
I think so.
Or
No.
or is it like on the side where it opens up and you have like a field?
Yes,
To
it's
fly
the
through.
latter of those.
All right.
So
So yeah,
you're
we
basically
definitely
just in
need
a
to
big
open
square
the-
room.
Yeah, we just need the doors open.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll go do that then.
All right.
Right.
Okay, let's start with Urda, because I really want to see what happens with these mechs. You go over to the various mech cargo containers that you can see are sort of splashed with the corporate logos where they came from. What's the plan? What are you trying to do?
So I'm gonna try and first I'm gonna get them out of the crate, and then I'm gonna try and essentially program them to do the simple task of walk to point, self-destruct.
Okay, sounds great. All right, let's get a computer roll from you. I'm gonna add a setback due to just the time constraint of the situation. These mechs are somewhat notorious for being quite easy to hack, so it won't be that hard actually. The main thing that's blocking you is that like you have to get them out, so I'll add another setback. So go ahead and roll when you're ready.
All right, I'm also going to use a story point
Hell yes.
to upgrade that ability. Yep.
Sounds good. Let me do that for you, and done.
Alrighty. Now I'm gonna come down here and do computers. Should I upgrade that ability?
No, I've handled it.
Okay.
Whoa! So that's 3 success and 5 threat, which, thank you for that. That's my favorite type of roll for you to get. So that means that you succeed at what you were trying to do. So you activate the mechs, you successfully hack them to pursue the programming that you would like to do, which is go to, place, and explode. And they start moving their way out. I think, however, you do inadvertently trip one of the security protocols on one of the larger mechs, and suddenly you hear the sound of steam hitting out of one of the Ymirs as it unfolds itself and says very loudly, "Hacking attempt detected. Scanning for hostiles." And everybody near the shuttle right now just quickly backs up into the shuttle, sort of leaving Urda alone out face to face with this Ymir mech. As a bunch of other smaller mechs make their way to the doors around here.
I'm gonna activate my cloak, cause nah.
And Urda disappears.
Oh wait, no, I lied. I don't have the strain to activate my cloak. Never mind.
Oh, what a shame. Okay, got it. So simultaneous with that happening, as Urda was kind of like pulling out all the mechs and like getting them all ready, Miles, you were going to try and unlock one of the doors. This can be either a computer or a mechanics issue of just like tracking the software you need or the hardware you need to just open it up. So go ahead and roll either of those with, we'll call it this difficulty when you're ready. Oh.
I rolled.
Okay.
It didn't give me results.
A neutral result. You are scrambling around looking for any kind of like override lever that you can do to open up the doors, any console you can access to gain an ability to move to open them up. You do not see anything that can help you in this situation, and at that same time you hear the booming sound of the mech saying that it is scanning for hostiles. And while all that was happening, Talora, let me just set the difficulty for your computers check.
Do I have anybody helping me? Any of the people that are left over?
There are definitely some people there who know a little bit about computers, so I will give you a little boost die for that. This is going to be a formidable challenge, so go ahead and roll when you're ready.
Can we use our last story point to you know?
Please do.
To up that, please?
Yes.
Please do.
Absolutely, you can upgrade that.
Oh, roll 20, please.
But I think I'll use one too, to just make it so it's easier for you and harder for you. So we'll see how this goes. It's ready when you are.
You're lucky you're not in my house right now. I'll come for you. Hi. Okay.
All right. Oh, incredible!
Woo!
So many
Nice.
dice rolled, and the final result was a single success and nothing else. Beautiful work, beautiful work. So yeah, you hear the booming sound of the mech as it gets activated, and then you hear as you're scrambling desperately, like punching your Omni tool to access these the codes of this shuttle. At the last second, you manage to hit just the right. I'm trying to think of like one of the hacking mini games in Mass Effect to like allude to. You get just the right chunk of code that you need, and punch it in.
This one.
And it unlocks the navigation computer of the shuttle, and all its systems are ready for you. And this thing is ready to be piloted out of here. So well done there. You get a lot of pats on the back from the various crews around you, just like, wow, well done, very good, yes, nice.
She's probably yelling out loudly, Miles! Urda! Let's get going!
Need to open the doors first.
And now I need everybody to roll initiative.
I'm gonna spend a strain to give us an advantage on that.
Beautiful.
Or not, what's
like an
the
auto,
word? Not-
like one more success on it.
Hang
or
on,
something?
hang on. Let me
Next to your-
reread that power
Yes.
real quick.
I believe you have the rapid reaction talent, which means you can
I
spend
do.
strain to add a success to your initiative roll.
Yes.
Beautiful. That could be the difference between life and death, so that's great. So, this is not a situation that any of you prepared for, so you're all going to be rolling vigilance. Before you do, oh no, never mind. Yes. So vigilance on your combat page. And of course, I will roll for the Ymir mech that is now fully standing up, imposing with its gigantic metal form, big red eyes glaring down at Urda. And all right, let's roll initiative for that and see how it does. It also was not expecting the situation, so it's going to roll vigilance as well. And that is going to be 2 successes. And then Urda, your roll was 2 success, 1 advantage. So I'm going to up that to 3 success, 1 advantage. Thanks to your rapid reaction. And then, just going to sort this. And all right, first slot generated is a PC slot. Now, for those who don't know, in Genesys, we do not track initiative for individual characters, but by sides. So the first up, we have a PC slot. So whoever wants to go first may just say, I'm going first. So who wants to act?
I'd like to enter a blood rage.
Yes! yes. All right, I believe for your blood rage, I actually added a blood rage skill to your character sheet, so you can now roll for it. So if you scroll all the way at the bottom, it should be there. And this will determine how long your Krogan blood rage persists for. And if you would like to say what everybody sees when Urda enters her blood rage, I'm sure we'd all be excited to hear it.
So Urda's looking at this freaking Ymir that's like scanning for threats. And like I almost feel like Urda just kind of whips out this shock baton and not literally like using the shock portion of it, but kind of beats it off of her armor a little bit to kind of,
Make it
make a
spark.
lot of noise
Hell
and,
yeah.
Get some sparks, just, make herself a threat, and it's just like, yep, makes a whole lot of noise, roars, all that fun shit.
Beautiful. That's great. So with what you rolled, your rage is going to last for 2 turns, including this one. So what would you like to do as you enter your rage?
I would like to use this shock baton on the mech.
Okay. That's going to be a double difficulty because of melee, and that is ready to roll. So go ahead and roll when you're ready.
Alrighty, 1 second, let me double check.
Even though you are
One
big,
thing.
this mech is bigger, but
Very
you don't
big.
let that stop you.
No, I ain't scared. Alright, let's see. I gain +1 soak.
Oh yes, let me add the soak to your character.
2 auto successes on melee. Okay. Cool. Rolling the baton.
All right, so you roll a failure, but thanks to your blood rage, you get 2 automatic successes. So it's actually going to change your failure into a success.
Sweet.
Blood rage, and that's going to be a total of 4 damage. And thanks to the disrupting property of your shock baton, that's going to be 8 damage to this thing's shield. So you charge at the mech, you roar out loudly, it echoes throughout the entire cargo bay, and you slam the shock baton just right between its robot legs, and you deal a significant portion of damage to its shields. Beautiful work, Urda. Anything else for your turn, or is that it?
I think that was all I could do. I did my maneuver to activate the rage. And yeah.
This ordered this weird, but next up is another PC slot. So, Smiley or Talora, who would like to go?
So I got 3 advantage, right?
From what?
What from the
For initiative?
initiative roll.
Mhm.
So does that mean I can use that to do one of the things on the list?
No, for initiative, that basically breaks ties between successes.
That would have been too nice. Does the shuttle have weapons?
Ooh. In my mind, it didn't, but if you would like to spend a
Story
story
point.
point.
Story point.
Then we're using a story point,
Oh, yes.
and I am
Gunship.
saying it will probably have one of these
Like a
turret
dorsal cannon?
guns.
Yeah, beautiful.
One
Love
of
it.
those.
Mhm. Fantastic. Hell yes.
I almost feel like it was something designed to like break up asteroids, but like it'll work here.
Yeah, it's probably some mining stuff that you're supposed to, if you
Yeah.
can't break it. So
Love
I'm
that.
thinking,
Excellent.
how hard would it be to blow up the doors like this?
Ooh. It probably wouldn't be very hard. The biggest threat would be the fact that this entire place will depressurize immediately. As far as you can tell, the only people who don't have like suits on right now are all on the shuttle with you. So as long as you get everybody inside it before you do that, you should be able to do it, you believe.
Okay, so because Orda and Miles already got their helmets up because that's what we did in the beginning,
Yes,
right?
of course.
And everybody else in the shuttle.
Yeah, everybody else is in the shuttle. So as long as you can get the other two on board, because the shuttle is not robust enough that you can just it doesn't have, what does it? Do these shuttles in Mass Effect have airlocks? No, they don't. They just got like
No.
DeLorean doors. So no.
Yeah.
So you would need to get them on board first, otherwise you risk everybody on the shuttle losing everything.
Okay. Well, then for this round, I'll probably try and use that weapon to blast the mech.
Yes, love it. All right, you power up the
Big gun,
systems.
big gun.
You climb into the little sort of small cockpit area for this weapon. Wonderful. Go ahead and make a gunnery check against
excited.
the mech. And I'll say the mech is at.
Actually, do I have anybody who's a gunner on or could help with that in my shuttle?
You know who's there, actually? A certain Turian with a zigzag scar across his face by the name of Arcus. And he kind of goes, "Hey, I can handle this." And he sort of like
All right.
makes his way
Let's
towards
go.
it and gets ready to fire. All right, this means that now I will roll for this. What?
Probably better at gunnery than this teacher.
And he aims it at Miles and blasts him. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Poor Miles.
So this is going to be long range, I'm going to say, the distance between you and the shuttle and the mech. And he has decent gunnery and decent things here. Any other factors? Nope, I don't think so. Yeah, Arcus is just going to fire this weapon. Blam! And it slams into the mech. We've established this is like more of a mining like laser or destroyer than an actual weapon, so it won't do quite as much damage as like a big heavy cannon. However, it will be significant. So we'll call that, let's see, we'll say that can be
that's fun.
that can be 10 damage. So 10 plus the success, that's gonna be a total of 12. With that, the shielding of the Ymir mech is completely blasted away, exposing its heavy armor. And I guess Arcus recovers a point of strain as well with that one. No, he's gonna use that. Can we? I forget. Is one enough to give a thing to somebody? It is.
I think
so we'll
it's
say, Oda, you're boosted because of the covering fire
Nice.
provided by this this turret gunner. It is now the mech's turn, and although the Krogan, Krogan's right in front of it, and these things aren't smart. Even though it just got a blast in the face from a nearby gun, the mech is going to loom over Erda, and then you hear the sound of its dual Mass Effect cannons whirring up as it gets ready to fire a salvo at you. So you're at short range, which means this will be very easy. So it's gonna do this. Sorry, I just have to set the difficulty, which is gonna be 1. Do you have anything affecting? You only have soak from Blood Rage, right? There's nothing that makes it harder to hit you.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
One sec. Let me double check, but I think that is correct. Yep.
All right, time seems to slow down as this weapon heats up. You can see like part of the rotary parts of it start swirling around, and then It fires its cannons at you. Oh no! Oh, that's a very good roll it just got.
Oh, it hits me.
All right, so here's what happens. You take 9 damage. Sorry, 10 damage from the successes. Reduce that by
one.
By 1 if it goes through your shields, if that makes sense. Because
My shields are already gone. My
Okay.
shield's been gone.
Then yes, they only take 9 damage. In addition, it had pierce anyway, so it would have ignored your soak. So you take full 10 damage. In addition, it scored a critical hit on you, so I'm going to activate that right now. Also, it has the vicious quality on its cannons, which means that when they hurt you, they hurt just a little bit more. So please go on your character sheet to the critical injuries tab, and then add an additional 20 to any modifiers that are currently in play. Which I believe, as a Krogan, you have an automatic...
Puts me at 0.
Minus 20, yeah, so that should put it on 0. Then roll a critical injury to see how badly Erda gets hurt here. All right, so to avoid ableist language, we're going to say that you just got severely impaired just then. As this thing blasts into you, which of your limbs took the brunt of that damage?
I feel like she reflexively brought up her arm. And
then-
the one not holding the baton and just kind of cover her face a little bit.
Yeah,
But
it is... For any of you who watch this, it is a brutal sight to see. Anybody else would have been pasted by this. Yet Erda, a strong and powerful Krogan, with a bloody, horrific arm, just is still standing after that, smoke rising from your wounds. The mech also generated a threat, so I'm going to say it got slightly strained from that. Boop. All right, that brings it to our final player character slot. So, Miles, as you watch this unfold, what would you like to do?
Is it hard? Please tell me it's hard. Before Miles does anything, please.
I've also got some advantage from the original initiative roll, and I will use that to regenerate.
Oh, sorry. Initiative advantage only does tie breaks. It does not do anything else. I'm
Oh,
afraid.
okay. Never mind. I will click all my buttons. So I'm going to take the fitness thing. I'm going to take the adrenaline rush.
Right.
So I'm going to use one maneuver to get in between Erda and the mech.
I don't know how possible that is because they are toe-to-toe. She was hitting it with her shock baton.
Right. Okay. I will then just stand next to it.
Okay.
And shoot it with the shotgun as my action. And then I'm going to take another maneuver to try and drag Erda onto the ship.
Okay. For the sake of fleshing out the space a little bit more, I believe that you would have been quite a distance from this because you were kind of looking for something. So you would actually have to move at least 2 range bands before you reach Erda, which would take 2 maneuvers ordinarily.
Okay. I have 2. One normal and one from the fitness.
Correct. Great. So if you like to spend...
And then I have an action, and I use that to shoot the mech.
Awesome. All right, you're going to be at close range there, so that's going to be just a 1 difficulty, and nothing else applies, so go ahead and roll that.
Q.
This is against its tough armor, so we'll see how it does.
Nice.
All right, so that's going to be 6 plus 2 damage for a total of 8. It, however, does have a soak rating of 3 thanks to its armor, so it's going to be reduced down to 5, so it's going to take 5 points of damage to its armor.
You took the adrenaline rush thing into account?
I did not, so that's an additional... What? Oh, we need to
2.
roll for it first, I think. So roll athletics check
Do you?
against no difficulty, and that should tell us how good the adrenaline rush is.
Oh yeah, there's a button. Can't find it. Okay,
Oh.
it's an athletics thing. Cool.
Yeah.
There was a button next to the power, so I thought I'd push that. Yeah. There we
Alright,
go.
So it's going to last for what does that roll mean for your adrenaline rush?
I don't know. You're the one who made me roll it.
I know, I don't remember.
What adrenaline rush does is I take it as an incidental, and I deal additional damage with combat checks equal to the number of successes.
Cool, great.
So I took that to mean that the 2 damage that I dealt, I deal again.
No, it's when you do
Or-
adrenaline rush, you roll
yeah.
athletics, and then that determines how much damage it is. So that does mean you do an additional 2 damage, so I'll take off 2 more from this mech. Pating. Which means it only has a tiny bit of its heavy armor left, so good work there. Anything else on your turn?
No, I think that's it.
All right. With that, we're on the second round, and back at a PC slot. Who would like to take the first turn this time around?
And can we blast him again?
Absolutely, if you would like.
With the ship, I think we're too close now.
It is.
Well,
it
he's
is-
large. He's very large.
It is. You know what? We'll roll.
I mean, you guys are short, and he's very, very large.
I don't know who you're calling short, but I am hurt.
Compared to the mech, you're short.
All right, we'll roll and see what happens. I guess see how much damage is inflicted upon allies. Boop. All right, with a success and advantage. Although he's a jerk, Arcus knows his way around shooting, and he fires just like the tip of the shoulder blade, or the equivalent of it, on this Ymir mech, and blasts it for what I say 10 damage. So that's going to be 11 damage, reduced by 3, for a total of 8. So that's 8 damage, minus 1 from the armor. Armor is now gone. Blam! Leaving 7 damage to the mech itself, and it is now vulnerable. And looking very bad. It, like, bits of sparks are flying off, parts of its plating are falling to the ground. Cool.
Because it's trying to impress Miles. He's trying to show he's better than he is.
It's like, how do you like that hot shot? Next PC slot, who would like to go?
Does Miles have anything that takes advantage of vulnerabilities?
I don't think so.
Okay.
For clarification, in this game, some powers, when an enemy is vulnerable, which means they only have their health and not like a shield or armor protecting them, they are often more vulnerable to certain powers, like biotic lift, for example, or biotic pull.
But I don't have any powers. I'm a soldier. I just have guns.
You have adrenaline rush.
I have adrenaline rush, but that's not what that does.
So who would like to go? Who would like to act?
I think I would like to beat it with a stick.
Beautiful.
And make the last use of what's left of my blood rage.
Sounds great.
Try it, and use the shocking and like
Yeah,
over.
if I get some advantage, I will activate that. I'm hoping. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's going to be 5 points of damage plus 3 advantage. How would you like to spend the advantage?
2 of those advantage are going to 3 strain in the stun property.
Do you maybe want to restore some shields to
I
yourself?
do. Well,
Or some
I actually
strain.
want to recover some strain.
So yeah, how are you breaking up those 3 advantages?
2 for the stun effect,
Okay.
1 to recover strain.
All right, so for the stun effect, you're going to do 2 strain to it. In addition to your blood rage of 2, in addition to the results of your 2, then plus 3, that's a total of 9 damage this Krogan just did to this mech. Oops, that was the wrong thing. It is a truly incredible display that you will witness as this Krogan kind of like does a flying leap and smashes this thing in its face, and you see like the cracked lens and just sparking coming from its head. It is moments away from being destroyed. So great work there, Erda. And with that, your rage comes to an end.
And having come to an end, it's kind of that exhausted little, heavy breathing and all that, and it's like, fuck. No, I'm done with this. It starts going back towards the ship.
All right,
So that's
great.
how I'm going to use my maneuver.
The Ymir mech, you are now moving away, but there's still an enemy nearby. It is going to shoot at Miles. So Miles, we established you're at close range, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me just get all this stuff out of the way. So it is going to shoot at you with its dual cannons. As you hear them spooling up, it does not seem to be cognizant of the
Time
fact.
for dual cannons.
Yes.
And blam! That is going to be... Oh my gosh! It didn't hit! It generated 4 advantage, but it missed you completely. That's incredible. Let's have a look
Pathetic.
at what it can do. Now, I would have loved to activate a critical hit, which could be done if you roll advantage equal to its crit rating. However, it didn't hit you at all yet, so I can't do that. Let's see. What can it do? What can it do? It is going to perform a free maneuver to basically ka-ting, 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 walk its way towards you, Erda. to kind of like stop you from running away, and then it's going to use basically just the intimidation of that moment is going to give you a setback die on your next roll. And that's how it'll spend its advantage. Miles, you expertly do like a combat dodge out of the way, maybe like leap behind a crate before it explodes from the shower of bullets that come down on you, but you are unharmed, unhit, and ready to go. It is now final PC slot.
Okay, I will use a maneuver to also walk to the ship.
Okay.
And then I don't know if we're inside it yet.
You're both basically at the cusp of its entry ramp. So one more maneuver will get you both inside.
Okay. I will use one to shoot the mech because you can't leave an enemy up. That's just bad man.
And it's so weak. It's so close to falling.
Yeah.
It really is bad
All right,
manners.
so you're going to be making that attack. So since you move, this is going to be an average range, so it's going to be 2
Oops.
difficulty. Go ahead.
Oh,
and
did you
roll.
already adjust it? Do I have to roll it again?
Please
I'll
roll
happily
again. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
This might happen a lot in this game.
Oh, well,
All right.
sadly.
You fire your shotgun, blam! And like some of the sort of flechettes hit the sides of its armor, but don't do any anything more than superficial damage. You generate 1 advantage though. So what happens there?
I will.
Did you spend strain for using your adrenaline rush, right? By the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I didn't save, but I did push the buttons.
Cool.
It's 5. There we go. Weird. So I'll boost my allies' roll, and I'd also like to take even more strain to take another maneuver to get us both actually inside.
Okay, so it's going to cost you 2 strain. Who are you boosting, and how are you helping them?
I'll boost Talora, I think, is.
Okay. So as you clamber onto the ship, sort of helping Urda inside, how do you give this boost?
Like, all right, we're in.
Okay. So with that, new round, new player character slot. Who would like to go?
We are blasting the door.
Okay.
Good.
You tell
Everybody in, let's go!
you tell Arcus to swivel the cannon around and aim at the doors while you explain to everybody else, hey, get that shuttle closed because it's about to get very lack of air in here. And everybody kind of quickly responds to you. Your teaching abilities really helping out in this moment in this classroom of concerned people.
Can I do one thing before that door closes?
Yeah.
Can I try and fire my sniper rifle at this mech as the door is closing?
Do it!
Hell yeah.
Okay.
So first up, let me just roll to see if we do blast that door open. So this is going to be Arcus firing again against the door. How strong is the door? I don't know. It's pretty tough, I guess.
It is a blast door.
Yep.
Yeah. So here we go. Blam. All right. Arcus fires a shot at the blast door in this place, and you look, and it leaves just a big scorch mark there and some smoke. At this current time, it has not been busted through. That does not mean it will not be on successive attempts. But the shuttle door is closing, and during this time, Urda, you take the opportunity to fire a shot from your mantis. Let me just adjust the difficulty for the range, and go ahead and roll. Oh, you also have a setback from the previous thing, so please.
So roll again.
Please roll again. Yes.
Okay.
Somehow you did better with the setback. I don't know how that worked. Beautiful. You all hear as the mantis rifle is fired, and it slams into the mech, dealing 8-9 damage. And yeah. You blast this thing. How do you take this thing out? What does it look like?
So it's aimed for its, where I've already cracked its, optics.
Hell yes.
It's just aiming for that.
Okay.
And I guess, honestly, Urda probably just kind of takes a knee to, brace a bit because, one arm is pretty messed up. And it's like, yeah, let's get this set up nice.
Beautiful. That does remind me, actually, you would have generated 1 wound during your blood rage. So go ahead and add a wound back.
I already did that.
You already did that. Fantastic. And yeah, you fire the shot. The head of this Ymir mech explodes into fragments. And then you hear boop, 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 as you see a massive flashing light emitting from the sort of neck area of this mech. And I don't know how familiar with Ymir mechs your character is, but you don't need to be that familiar to know
Pretty
that
familiar.
something bad is about to happen. And there is a small mushroom cloud that completely obliterates part of the cargo area. Thankfully, your shuttle was just far enough away from it so that the shuttle isn't damaged in any way, but some crates nearby get completely atomized by the exploding Ymir mech. And you hope that...
That weakened the blast doors?
Could we react and, like, spin the plane enough to knock it with the wing into the doors?
This is some absurdity that is going to require some story pointing and some good rolls, but I will allow it if we get those things, because I love it. So if anybody wants to take...
one more. Let's use it. There.
All right. I got to start using story points. Okay, so you use that.
It's gonna hurt us.
Are you currently at the controls, Talora, of the ship? Since you just unlocked them?
I'm thinking yes, because the other one is the gunner.
Then why don't you give me a piloting check, which you do have a blue boost on thanks to Miles. This is gonna be really hard. I'm not gonna no two ways about it. This is gonna be really hard. But
I have totally no skills in this, so this is gonna go badly.
You never know. All right, go ahead and roll piloting and see if we can do this amazing maneuver.
All right. And is there anybody here that's helping me?
I don't think that anybody can help you in an appreciable way for just sort of...
All right, just trying.
Fair
okay.
Enough. Ooh, close. Very close, though. You try and quickly react to this thing before it explodes and try and, like, bop it towards the blast door. Unfortunately, what accounts for a wing on this shuttle just is cloven off and does not appear to have much effect, and the mech just explodes.
Oops.
Sometimes you gotta take the big swings, sometimes it doesn't work out. All right. So the mech is gone. So that's good. You do still have this massive blast door open before you, but since most threats are dealt with right now, we can say that eventually, with enough exertion of the force of the cannon on this shuttle, there is a way blasted through. And as it does, immediately all the air is sucked right out of the cargo area. You can see like the lighter crates are quickly sort of shifting and scraping across the ground towards the breach. And very quickly you power up the shuttle and try to gently maneuver it out of this place. Talora, that will actually be another piloting check from you to see if you can get through. This one will be much easier.
Is Miles a better pilot than me?
Nope.
How about Erda?
I don't actually know. I don't think so, though.
Let's hope that our fourth player, who will be joining us next week, is a better pilot.
I will also use a story point in this instance to upgrade the difficulty of this check.
Absolutely nothing in it.
I'm sorry that I'm picking on you.
What are your guys' agility? I have a 2.
Also 2.
Nice.
All right, well. All right, I'm going to roll this in. Nah.
You've got this. All right.
Nice.
All right.
That's a success.
Perfect.
You managed to scrape the shuttle straight through the breach that you created. You all hear on the inside just this horrible sound as you scrape across the sort of spiked remains of the blast doors. And as you make your way outside, I'm going to say that the threat that you face is that as soon as your shuttle exits out of this cargo bay and you just rise a little bit above to see the massive sort of cargo hauler that you just exited from, you see that between it and, or you see rather, that your shuttle is firmly placed between the cargo ship and a large pirate frigate that is powering up very heavy Mass Effect cannons to blast the cargo ship out of the sky.
Is that where we're going to leave it?
I think that's where we're going to end the day's session, everybody.
Yes.
What a perfect ending.
There we go. First episode of our Mass Effect game. Thank you so much for everybody who joined and chatted and was able to catch us. I hope you enjoyed it. Massive thanks to my beautiful, amazing players. If you would like, go ahead and introduce yourselves and let people know what your thing is and where you can be found. Let's start with Vivi.
Hi, I'm Vivacia. I'm playing Talora Tisu, which is an Asari Sentinel. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Vivacia and on Twitch as Vivacia, on Discord, all over the place as Vivacia. And yeah, man, this was a lot of fun. I was looking so much forward to this.
Paladin.
Hi everybody. I'm Paladin Hulk, Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot. This was super fun, very action-packed. I think we worked together well. Good. I'm looking forward to seeing how adding werewolf to the mix is gonna change the dynamic.
Yes, we will have another player next week. Spoilers.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
Should be good.
Quarian.
Where you could,
Hell yeah.
yeah, Quarians are cool. Where you can find me next is Sundays over on Uncanny Adventures, where I play Holt, the pirate paladin who tries to make friends with all the evil pirates. And I had a bit of that today when that jerk was getting in my face. I was like, I'm going to be friends with this guy, like in my heart. And then I was like, no, you're supposed to be a jerk. So that's fun. Tuesdays, I play with almost all of these people over on Polished Cryptid's channel in The Wandering Menagerie, where I play Domrain, the Gitsurai noble fighter. That's a story you should tune in just to figure out what's going on, because I don't think any of us know. And Fridays, I am over on Raven's channel on the Black Feather Guild, where I play Tom Fan, the friendly ghost. And oh my god, last episode was traumatic. Oh, jeez. Like, there was crying. There was, like, I think everybody got in the fetal position at the same time, so we were not effective. It was a hell of a blast. And that's me.
All right, and Forta.
I'm sorry. I just want a moment to react to that. What?
You gotta watch it. You gotta check it out to see. You gotta get
I do.
That's why
Damn, I wish I had more time in the day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same.
I'm Forta. You can find me on Twitter at FortaVair. No dash in between. Most other places on the internet, there is a dash in between. Let's see. I think next you'll find me on Tuesday, Wandering Menagerie, where Aestus and us are going to we're gonna figure out where to go next. As far as we met some dryads, there was some we fixed our boat finally, so that's a win.
I know how to sail now because I figured out how rowboats work.
So we will finally maybe make some progress as far as getting upriver. Downriver? I don't know.
I think it's down.
The point is we're going to the sea. We're finally going to have some success, hopefully. And tune in.
Hell yes.
Things can only get weirder from here.
And I'm Thomas. I do GMing stuff. You can check out me also with the Wandering Menagerie on Polished Cryptid's channel on Tuesdays. In addition, not tomorrow, but next Sunday, I'll be returning for episode 2 of our new City of Mist game, Is This an Education? Found right here on Chromatic Chimera. Check it out. The characters and players we got are absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to see where they go. It'll be a lot of fun, so yeah, come and check it out.
And I have it on good authority that it is not an education, so...
Indeed. Once again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you had a good time. We will be right here, same place, same time, next week, next Saturday. So if you would like to see how this adventure continues, come and check it out. And that's it. All right. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time. One day I'll think of a good sign off for the Mass Effect game. Bye.